Hopefully it'll pop up on your boys and say it's live. Right. Hey guys, hopefully we are now live on YouTube. I can't promise it, but I'm doing my best. Hopefully this is working and I'll eventually be able to work out how to do a live. But here we go anyway. If you could all let me know if you can hear me, see me, that would be a good starter for 10. But we're online, hopefully. I'll throw some guests in as well. Hopefully we'll get a few people find us because the first original live decided to go off. Not 100% sure what was going on there, but we are live on YouTube nonetheless. So tonight with me, I have a few guests, 2 right now, and 1 is going to be joining us in a short while. So let me jump to the next room and say hello to some familiar faces here. We've got Car Chris and Andy Charger. Hey guys.
Good evening, Dom. How you doing?
Yeah, good mate. Good. Hopefully some of our guests will. Hey mate, you're right. Hopefully some of our guests will be able to tell us whether or not they can hear you. That would be a good starter for 10. We shall soon see. God. So how you boys been? All right?
Yeah. We've well, I don't know what you've been up to, Chris, but I've been entertaining in the garden again today. So barbecuing and keeping my staff fed and watered. That's all been good. Not much time with the car, although I did give it a wash with a bucket and obviously with the hose pipe ban. I gave it a 2-bucket wash this morning and getting it all ready for
30 watering cans. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting it all ready for the big event next Saturday in Brighton at Quattrophenia.
No, yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it should be a good one next weekend. So what have I done? Just really been spending a bit of money this weekend, getting a few parts in. So obviously that will be to come. Just sorting out a few bits that I weren't very happy with. So I've just sort of changing a few little bits around. Just to try and have a better setup.
Well, that is it, mate. It's the inevitability of just an ongoing process. So TT's never really finished. I don't think. I think you'll agree. And when you think you finish something else goes, hi.
Yeah.
I don't think I've yet seen someone that said, "Oh, I've done my TT as a project and I've now finished it." There's always, there's always something to do. I think that's always makes great conversation when we go to these meets and we're talking to people and you ask them about their journey, because it is a journey, isn't it? It's not like there's no destination. It's a journey without a destination, really.
Exactly.
All right, so let's say hello to some of the people we got joining us in. We got quite a few people here. We've got like 23 odd. Danny, Chris, looks like a table for 2 right now. We're slowly getting us all on there. They can hear us, which is definitely a thumbs up.
Always good.
Always nice.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. We like that. Sounding good, fellas. Hello. Ben, how was the garden party? He's probably the only person I know who went to a meet today. I didn't. Any of you boys?
Nope.
No, not for me. No. We've got so much coming up over the next month. I've just had to have a weekend to myself, really, because it just seems to be show after show after show, which is crazy because we're in September, aren't we? So yeah. I've just started doing a video today, which we're going to put live hopefully tomorrow, guys, or maybe Tuesday night, talking about the various meets happening around the UK over the next month or so, because there seems to be things springing up everywhere and little meets here, there, and everywhere. So it's best to keep people updated. I know that, Dom, you've got a great calendar now available on your website for people to look at.
Yes. Yeah, my phone does not stop dinging because obviously every time someone goes onto the website, it just goes, bing, someone's on the website. So now it's just like, bing, 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 bing. But it's great because at the end of the day, I'm adding to it pretty much every day. People are messaging me saying, oh, we've got this meet. It's a little one. We've got a big one. There's this show, that show. And it's starting to populate the calendar quite nicely, which is good. Plus, it means if you're ever at when you have loads of plans and then suddenly something gets cancelled and you're like, oh, I've got this free day. What's going on? Ooh, I've got a choice. Lovely.
Yeah, I think there seems to be quite a lean towards Sunday meets as well. So whether Sundays are quieter than Saturdays, I don't know. But I think a lot of the car meets seem to be on a Sunday this week, or on this month rather. Yeah. So I know you've done some great meets on a Saturday morning up in Hemel. And I hope they're going to continue as well, because they're always something good to start your weekend off with.
Yes, mate. Yeah, the only issue with that is there's obviously a lot of people that do work Saturday mornings or Saturdays to limit hour. Plus, everywhere's that little bit busier. I've been trying to locate a decent pub so they can do us like bacon and sausage rolls, coffees, teas, and then they've got a big enough car park because usually pubs before 1 o'clock aren't very busy on a Saturday. So I'm trying to sort of get in chats with owners because then they've got a nice concrete, you know what I mean, like a tarmac, somewhere to park and all that kind of stuff. So at least then it's that bit nicer, you know. But for the time being, we'll muddle on. As long as everyone buys a coffee from Subway. They've changed the signs at that one we had in Hemel, the big one, that says only customer parking. So as long as everyone spends £1, we're all right.
Well, there you go. Just get a big coffee, make it last a long time. That's the way forward.
Yes, mate. Yeah, it has been good.
Excellent.
So, right, topics today. There's a few. Obviously, I've got on here upcoming events. Fleet shuffle and plans. Now that's me more than anyone else, unless you boys are planning on. I know what our other guest that's popping on later may also be doing some shuffling around, but I've got questions and answers and just general TT chat, should we say? Unless you boys obviously want to add anything as we go.
Just see if anyone else has done anything to their TTs recently.
Yes,
any plans for theirs? Yeah, anyone in the chat?
Yeah, I was going to say, everyone, let us know what's your, between now and December 31st, what do you want to get done the rest of the year? Are you going to keep it on the road or are you going to store it away? Because I've seen quite a few people saying that they're going to sawn theirs at the end of the month, being the end of August or the end of September. That's quite interesting. What were you going to do, Andy? Are you going to keep them both on the road?
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing is the blue one is actually becoming more and more a daily driver. So the blue one has got.
Yeah, Mondeo's getting the cold shoulder.
Well, it's a daily driver, but not for me. So in fact, it got a parking ticket yesterday. I might add as well. So
you weren't even in it.
I wasn't even driving it. No, so it was. Yeah, you got a parking ticket. The wife managed to get a parking ticket slapped on it yesterday, so there's a bit of discussion to be had there about that. So yeah, the blue one will be used as a daily run around, I think, and I used it today to take my daughter to work this morning. I'm you know yourself, you put your foot down and that noise, you can't. There's no way I can put that in the garage for 6 months.
I took my V6 out today, literally just to go down to the garage to swap off those anniversary BBSs because obviously I put them up for sale.
Yeah.
And I drove for my garage is less than half a mile from my house, and about 4 miles later I was pretty sure I was going to the garage because there's 2 tunnels. Went through the tunnels and I was like, turn around, back through the tunnels.
Yeah, it's definitely so. But the blue one, yeah, that will definitely be staying on the road. The silver one, well, it's quite nice, and you'll find this when it comes December, January, and it's cold outside. Maybe a bit strange, I don't know, but I love to put the roof down and be bombing around with a bobble hat on in the winter.
Yeah.
That little bit of cold blow around. It's quite nice. It's yeah, and people are looking at you like you're crazy, but well, we are crazy. We own Audi TTs. What more can I say? So yeah, mine are both staying on the road.
Good.
Chris,
I just see. Go on, Chris. You got both of yours, or 3 of yours, or?
No. So obviously, the Mark II that will stay on the road. The Mark I, I'm thinking of obviously getting off the road for a little while. We're still going to have MOT and tax insurance, so I can still use it. But I am planning on doing the subframes on it, front arms, and possibly some suspensions for get it in the workshop, jack it all up, get it on axle stands, and then just sort of tackle everything while it's up in the air. You know what I mean? Instead
you're going to sawn it and try and
no, I won't sawn it.
I
won't sawn it. No, I won't sawn it. You never know how quickly I'll get it done. I might get it done in a couple of weeks. I'm like, right, job done. On the road it goes again.
I think there would be a really good video for someone to do on sawing their vehicle, and maybe the tips and tricks someone could give to someone sawing their vehicle, what they need to keep running through the winter, what things should be lubricated, what things should be oiled up, what should be drained out. I think sounds like a great video there somewhere. Any volunteers?
Yeah. Is there any Audi TT YouTubers who fancy that one?
Yeah. Or anyone that's done it. What you guys out there that are looking to sawn your vehicles. I know there's a few of you out there, because when we've spoken to people at meets, they say, oh, this might be my last run out and I'm then going to sawn it and take it off the road. So be interested to know what maintenance you do over the winter to keep that car running, so that when you come to March...
No, I know what you mean. I always like it when people say, oh, I do, because I've seen it where people jack it up so that obviously the tires come off the ground, take the battery off. Do you mean drop the fuel filter off so there's not any fuel set in it? There's loads of different things you can and can't do. It depends if you're going to start it up once a month, leave it on a trickle charge. You know what I mean? Just take it onto the driveway, let it warm up, and then put it back in again, or what? Because obviously it's the salt, isn't it? That's what we're all trying to avoid.
Yeah.
I don't care so much, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Park it up and whack it on a trickle charger, and that's about it.
My blue one's been living out. Sorry.
No, go on. No, please. Sir.
No, I was just going to say my blue one's been living outside for the first time in my ownership for about the last 6 weeks, and it's surprising the amount of I think fresh damage to the paint that I've seen appearing. Before it's had, when I bought it to maybe the start of the summer, midsummer, there's been no deterioration at all on the paintwork. Whereas I think now, where it's been sitting and the birds have been doing what they do to it, and just general rubbish that are blowing around the garden and landing on it, the paintwork it's almost got like sap all over it, even not under the trees, but just from in the air. It's just like, it's not so much just chucking a bucket of water over and cleaning it all off. You've actually got to take it back and spend some time and get the clay bar out and really set about it.
Get the DA out.
It's
get
mad,
DA
isn't
for
it?
Christmas, Andy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to toy with what car to take next Saturday. I'm thinking, do I take the soft top, go to Brighton, wind in my hair, having a little ice cream by the beach and
struggling to not say some of the comments
Drive,
I'm thinking of,
yeah. do I take the hard top and enjoy the blast in the hard top? Because obviously last time I did it, Chris, I did it in the Mondeo, which is slightly different. But
we did it in comfort.
We did last time, yeah. But
There's a lot to be said for comfort.
Yeah, I've managed to tap my brother up for bringing that drone along as well, so we can get some good drone shots once we're in Brighton as well. So hopefully we can get some good dove from above. Although Dom, I'm sure you'll be bringing your drone as well, will you, for some dove from above?
Depends what the trees are like, I guess. Yeah, as long as there's not too many objects, because I'm like with a low slung object and
find a tree and park it in it.
Yeah, put it in the tree somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly good for that. I am known for crashing it. That's why I didn't buy the new one. Plus, they're £1,000.
Yeah. So I've done a bit of research for our little trip next weekend, actually. So I've been trying to find us somewhere to stop around Copthorne. You probably remember me talking about on our journey down. So obviously we've got the postcode. Should I change my background so I can put the details up? That'd probably be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Well, seeing as you have the power.
Well, I don't know how much
power.
Rude
not to, wouldn't it?
I'll see what I can. I'll see what I can do.
This is as good as it gets for me.
Oh, you've definitely got a much bigger logo this week, though. It's looking good.
Yeah, I literally was, because the other one I've got has like a white line around the black where they've obviously made the logo, and it looks terrible. So.
Right, I'll see if I can find our details for.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the Mk1 next weekend.
Traffinia. If I can put it up, there we go. In the background, there we go. So people can see that. So the postcode for where we're starting is that hand. This one. It's all back to front. Can't see my hand. So it's here somewhere. So I need to wear a black shirt for this because it doesn't work so well. If I come over here, does it work? Anyway, so SW18. 2 TQs are starting 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So from sort of 8:30 onwards, guys, get yourself down there for setting off.
I've updated the calendar for 8:30. Wheels roll at 9, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. So we said we're going to go through Red Hill. So Chris knows that quite well. And then we're going to go through Copthorne. Now, there's a pub in Copthorne called the Duke's Head Pub. It's on a roundabout. You can't miss it. As we're going through Copthorne, there's a nice big roundabout. So I got in touch with Gemma at the Duke's Head to see if we could park there and have some breakfast. But unfortunately, they don't open to 11. But she said that if you're popping by at 11 and fancy a coffee, you're more welcome to stop in. Now, I thought from that, then, well, we're going to be there well before 11. So I think we can stop there and get ourselves all together if we've lost ourselves. There might be a good little stop-off point to get everyone together. Obviously, then we're going to go on to Turners Hill, Haywards Heath, Ditching Beacon. I said about top of Ditching Beacon. It's probably worth, guys, if you've got Google Maps, having a look at all this in advance. But there's a great car park at the top of Ditching Beacon where we're looking to get together, get some good pictures, great photo opportunities up there on the little donut car park that's up there. And then on to Brighton Seafront. And we said the other day we're going to try and park in Brighton Marina. There's a big Asda at Brighton Marina. And to the back of the car park, there's not many cars that park there. It's right under the cliffs. So it's a great place for us all to get together and park. And the parking is free there, from what I understand. But
days.
for any reason that we can't get parked in that car park, and for some crazy reason it's absolutely smashed out with cars, there is this little car park here just outside the marina on Marina Drive. The postcode for that is BN25RL, and it's got parking for about 50 or 60 cars. No one ever goes there, and it's a car park for walkers, as they say, which is read out of that. We want to read
Take that
out
how
of
you
that.
will, yeah.
There won't be many walkers when we're in there. More car park for drivers, I think. So, so that's our alternative parking. So it all depends. It would have been great to park right in the centre of Brighton, but firstly, it's very expensive. Secondly, you can never get parked in Brighton, and hiring Madeira Drive out for something like this would have been crazy money as well. So we haven't been able to get ourselves right in Brighton, but the marina is just as nice, and there's some great things to see out there too.
Plus,
So
obviously, just a picture of loads of cars parked up together, isn't it? So
absolutely right. Yeah, a good excuse for us to get all the TTs together, really. And I think it seems like it's going to be a really popular event from the feedback we've had from Ockham Bites. People were saying really looking forward to Quattrofenia. I know the Essex boys were all saying really looking forward to coming to Quattrofenia. So I think it's going to be probably one of the last major runs out of the season. But there's lots of other things coming up in September, which we can talk about too.
Yeah,
what do you reckon the numbers are going to be like?
Oh, yeah.
At least three.
What's your prediction? Well, it's definitely going to be 3.
Yeah, so
Fingers
guys,
crossed,
guys, if you are coming to the meet in Brighton, then please do put up in the chat if you're coming. It'd be interesting to get a hand count of who's watching tonight. They'll be coming along, and it'd be great to see you all.
Yeah, I am going to do a poll. I'll stick a poll up on the Mk1 TT forum and community page for those on Facebook. I'll also stick one up on our YouTube in the community. The chat thing that comes up on your YouTube. Just do a poll. Let us know if you're coming, just so we can get a rough idea of numbers. It doesn't matter whether there's 3 or 100. We will still be doing it. Still be doing everything, pictures, convoy, the lot. So come along. It should be a good laugh. It'd be nice to see them all out and about rolling as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I see Chris Johnson's put in the chat there about one at Liddon Hall in Kent, Liddon Hill rather. So Chris, might be worth dropping me a note about that. There is one coming up also in September down in Kent, actually, around Ashford somewhere. So I'll be interested to get some more details of that, and I will stick that on Dom's calendar once I've got the details for it.
Yeah, Adie's saying about doing a track day at some point. That's a good shout.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to get in touch with companies. The problem is, obviously, I'd have to lay out 40 times 100 and whatever it is quid to book for the day. So we're trying to suss out something maybe where we can all attend a meet and you'll get like 20-minute slots or 30-minute slots on the track. The one that Chris was on about doing, that's similar, where you can do sort of slots, because obviously, let's be fair, no one's going to want to go out and put their TT out for 8 hours of constant abuse, because we're all worried about 20 minutes. So
yeah,
it's definitely one of them.
I've changed my background back now. I've put out my hero back. I've got my hero's background.
I was thinking that. Why have you got my background?
It
all just went really laggy, and then you suddenly just seem to have my background on.
Well, yeah. I thought I'm going to start taking out. I'm going to start hacking your channel up. Start posing as Chris. I'm just frantically trying to find a new background to put up. What should I put up?
You don't want to be at the beach on a sunset, no?
Oh yeah, no, only when you're on holiday. Here we go. Back to normal. Sorry, guys.
Right, so I guess we'll do a little bit of talking about my current fleet changes, I suppose.
Yeah, what have you got going on?
At the beginning of this month, obviously, I've got the originals, which is the Nagaro 225. I've got the red V6. I've got the silver convertible with a baseball. I've also had, what else have I had? The Mauritius blue one that we brought to the meet, where I'd painted the interior. I had the Fiat Coupe 20 valve turbo. I have the silver cheapie that we're going to do some fun stuff to. What other cars have we got? I had the red TT with the bleached paint. I had the black one. And so the numbers have definitely gone down somewhat over the last month or two. All I'm left with right now is 2 silver ones, the red one and the Noggy. All the rest have been sold because I'm downsizing the fleet, because for the simple matter of fact is I can't look after 7 or 8 cars at once. Literally, it got to a point where I had 2 working out of 7, which was hellish. And I think you always can agree even having 2 is bad enough, isn't it? Even you've got a Mark 1 and a Mark 2, it's still bad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to focus on so the V6 is staying completely as it is. I've got the BBS splits back on, the ones with bronze in the middle. And that is staying completely as it is, just enjoying it. It's got the exhaust. It's not particularly quick, but it is perfectly good fun. Sounds amazing. Drives lovely. So that's staying as is. The Silver Roadster, that's actually getting sold to my dad's going to buy that because he came to the meet and he got friendly with everyone and has now decided he wants in on the fold. So that was his choice of cars out of the selection I have. He was like,
what a great choice.
Yeah, he wants to sell his SLK and buy that. So he's having the Roadster. So that leaves me with literally just the Noggy, the red one, and then the silver one that we're going to do some fun stuff to, and then that'll get broken. So eventually I'll only have the Noggy and the V6. Now the Noggy, I've been meaning to do loads of stuff to that. I've got a list, of course, of the things that need doing, and then I've got a list of the things that I'd like to get done. And now I've sold some of the stuff. I am going to be, I've already started buying all the stuff I'm going to do to it. And I'm going 100 mile an hour at that one. So that'll be our winter project. That's staying on the road, but there's still going to be 100% content on the Noggy pretty much. I know it hasn't been on the channel for the last probably 6 months apart from at your meet, and then I broke it then. So it was fixed. We fixed it yesterday, so it's back on the road now. But yeah, it's going to be in and out, having loads of different things done. But I'm going to keep it on the road. It's going to be a sort of rolling project, because the worst thing I find is if you take it off the road, it just stays off because you've got no reason to get it done. Whereas if you're paying tax and MOT and insurance and whatever, got to be done, innit?
Yeah, absolutely right. That's the biggest cost, I think, for these cars. And I think everyone can probably sympathise with that, even if you've got 1 or 2 cars in your Audi TT fleet, that if they're not your everyday driver, it's a massive expense the whole time to keep funding. And I dread to think what it must be costing you with like 5 and 6 TTs. It's bad enough for 2.
Oh, I reckon I looked at just insurance and tax. It worked out like £400 a month, which was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
and that's just for without fuel, maintenance, anything breaking.
I think mine's 120 with 2.
Stuart Butler here said I've got 0 out of 1 working. I know that feeling.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in that boat, Stuart, to be perfectly honest.
That's 100%.
We got Wayne the Fiat gone. Yes, Wayne the Fiat has gone, mate. That is gone. The guy, the boy. I told him, like I said to him, look, I listed all the things that I'd sort of found with it that was wrong or could find. I mean, I only done, I think, like 60 miles in it. I barely drove it, but somehow managed to kill the turbo and it started smoking. So turbo seals are gone on that, I think. And I thought, I looked at it and I started looking online, and they don't have the community that we have. And I really struggled to find any real information on how to do things and things like that. And I thought, do I really want to start this journey all over again? And there's such a limited market for it. I thought, nah, I'll just stick to what I know.
Yeah, I think it's a wise choice. I think that you've found out, not the hard way as such, because obviously you've sold it on now, but we are quite blessed, I think, in the TT community. We've got such a good group of people. And you never go to one of these meets and start talking to people, and people say, "Oh, I went to a TT meet," and they were quite snobby, and they didn't want to include me. Everyone feels included. Everyone gets involved, and it's just such a really nice dynamic. I think everyone gets in. Doesn't matter, and there's no like my car's perfect, so I can't talk to the guy over there that's got like the wheels hanging off. It's like everyone just talks about everyone else's cars. It's great.
Yeah, it's mad. That's what sort of attracted my dad to it, because literally it doesn't matter who it was or whatever, they were straight up to him. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, what car's yours? This, that, and the other. And he was having a lovely chat. I had to pull him away from a couple of people. I was like, come on, Dad, they've had enough now. Come on, move on.
Well, I say he was a massive ambassador for you in that interior, because he was like dragging me towards, come and have a look at Dom's interior. Come and have a look. Like, magicking me towards the car. I was like, yeah, it looks amazing.
He probably wanted to find someone to say, oh, Dom didn't actually do that. They meant something like that. You know what I mean? He probably didn't believe me either. Like,
well, he had a point to make, because it was that is a cracking interior. For anyone that's I'm sure you've all seen Dom's video on that, but it's I've seen it in the flesh, and it does look cracking.
Yeah, he's done a great job on that.
Yeah, I sold it to my friend Dave, funny enough. One of my other friends, Mark, he's got the RS3. He said, him and Dave worked together, and he said to Dave, "Oh, Dom's selling a couple of TTs." Dave was like, "Which ones? Which ones?" And then suddenly I got a message from Dave, "Oh, Dom, I heard you're selling the TTs. Is that blue one going?" It's like, yes, it is. Later that day, he's round here having a look, But he's going to come to some of the meets. He's already given me a list of things he's going to do to it, or we're going to do to it. So which is nice. I mean, to be fair, all the ones I've sold, the black one went to a friend, the red one went to a friend, and I still see all of these cars. So I've just kind of reignited everyone's love for the Mark 1,
Yeah.
Which is cool until it breaks, and then suddenly I'm the worst person in the world.
Dom, you need to get like a TT reunion with just your TTs or something.
Yeah.
All the ones you've had over the years that have come and gone, just get them all together.
Oh man, that would be funny.
Like a This Is Your Life for XTT owners.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh mate, imagine. Could you imagine? That'd be hilarious. So come on, let's go through some of the chat. Then what we got here? Do you all get taxed annually on your vehicles? Yes, we do. Unfortunately, you can pay it monthly. Depends on how you want to do it. Wayne's saying here £31.50 a month with the V6. I think mine's the same.
Yeah,
£31.50 rings a bell.
I think both of mine are the same. To be honest, I'm pretty sure I'm paying that both. Yeah.
So none of mine are the same. So let me get this right. The silver convertible is £25 because that's an X-Reg. The blue one's 28, and I think the V6 is 31. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly look now on my online banking and see how much I'm being stung for.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a look, see how much I pay on my 225.
But it's funny, but the silver one isn't ULEZ, whereas the other two are.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go back. Oh, here we go. Right. Okay. So the silver one is $29.75 a month.
Yeah.
The blue one is $29.75, so they're both the same.
Okay.
And the Fiesta is £11.37. So I'm going back.
Bargain.
Yeah.
Bargain.
And I don't even drive that one. What's that all about?
Yeah. So my Mark II. My Mark 1 is £29.75.
Yeah, same.
And my Mark II is £24.06.
Right. Interesting, isn't
it? They must literally sit and make this up. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm looking in the comments, lads are saying £31.50 on a 180. It must just be the year it was registered.
No, I think it's anyone north of Hemel Hempstead has to pay like an extra £1.75 tax by the look of it.
How is your V6 cheaper than mine?
I don't know. It must be. It's the Kent Air. That's all I can think. It's the same. But then again, why is my V6 the same as my 225? They're both the same. It's nuts.
Different years? What year are they?
Oh, 6 months.
Oh no, so the same. Yeah. Arguably.
Well, I say 6 months. No, that's not strictly true because it's my blue one is a 54, but it's actually registered in January 2005. And my silver one is early 2003, I think. So it's maybe 2 years difference. But even still, unless there's some sort of hard and fast cutoff in sometime 2004 or 2005, I'm not sure. But they're both the same. They're both the same. So it wouldn't make any sense that that's the point.
If they were all registered after, I think is it the 1st of Feb 2006, we'd be paying like £550 a year.
Yeah. Not do that
because there's a little asterisk. If you look on the tax thing, there's a little asterisk next to it. Says if registered before 2006, then you just pay the £360 a year that we pay. Because I was looking, and if you bought a Mark II V6, you're instantly in for the £550 quid. And I thought, whoa, because that's a big sting a year.
Yeah, massively.
Especially with the price of fuel and everything else you have to pay for now.
Yeah. So I know there's at some point, I don't know if it's the myth that at some point the cars become classic car sort of tax. I think my in-laws they've got like an old MR2, not MR2, MX5.
40 years, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought that was getting up towards. I thought they were paying that.
MOT, in it.
Now I think it's.
I know it becomes MOT free at some point. I think it's 40 years.
If my father-in-law's in this chat, can you tell me, Paul, how much your? I might try and bring him along next weekend actually, because he does love a TT meet. So I might try and bring him along. He's not too far away.
You got a couple cars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he might bring one of his though, and it's yeah. Although I've got a passenger seat, haven't I? So he can sit in the front. I wouldn't want to sit in the back.
Like a pilot, yeah. navigator.
I saw an old video this week actually that belongs to. I'm not sure it belongs to. I won't better name drop you, but it was a review of the Audi TT, and this guy was reviewing the back of the car, and he got in the back of the car, and he was sitting. He had the passenger door open, and his knees are literally hanging up round the side of the seats. And he's saying, "I've got the seat all the way forward right now." And he was quite a tall guy, but it really made you realise, that you don't want to put anyone in the back of that. Oh,
Here
look,
he
we've got a
is.
fourth guest. He's
Welcome,
turned up.
Bryn.
How you doing?
How you doing, Bryn?
Mr. BWS
Hello, mate.
TT.
Yeah,
You
how's
are
everyone doing?
live on YouTube.
Good.
Oh, he's muted. I've muted him.
Oh,
Here we
no,
go.
not this
I can
again.
hear him.
Oh dear, dear, oh dear.
He's
We
got
had
a
enough-
lovely wallpaper.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We There's always one. How do I turn
Yeah.
it back off again?
It's usually me. It's usually me.
Oh,
Let's have a look.
oh
See
quality.
if I
How's it going,
can,
mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm knackered, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I've
What you been doing today?
I've taken Jermaine's gearbox on and off for the 50 billionth time. So yeah, yeah, it's been one of them days.
So even on your day off, you've been working.
Day off. What's one of them, mate?
It's a self-employed weekend.
Yeah, no such thing. No such thing. Where's chat gone? There's chat. Oh, I'm struggling with. Sorry, I'm
The video.
I'm trying to just. Running two screens is not good for me. There we go. I can see chat again. Cool.
There we go. So yeah, Bryn. Right, for those who don't know you, who there can't be many to be fair in here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I am. That's kind of me. Yeah.
That's a familiar sign for most, I think.
Yeah, I'm Bryn. How you doing, guys? I fix your TTs. Dom will tell you how to make them pretty. I'll tell you how to keep them working. That's about it, really. And then, yeah, even on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What have you got lined up then between now and Christmas? Because we've all sort of discussed what we're going to be doing. I've discussed the world of my fleet from very large to very small to what sort of plans I've got roughly.
So as I came on, have you just got rid of something? Did I hear?
Yeah, I've got rid of a few things, yeah.
Oh, okay. Quickly tell me what you got rid of, just a quick recap.
So the Fiat Turbo's gone because I blew the turbo seals and didn't really drive it, and then thought I literally looked online and there was very little information. You know, when you look and think, oh, how do I do this? No, nothing. And I was like,
ugliest car ever, though. Honestly, ugliest car ever. So, like,
I liked it, but
you've done yourself a favour.
Yeah, and then I've sold the Mauritius Blue TT with a tan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's gone to one of my friends.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just left with the two silvers, the Noggy, and the V6.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you definitely have trimmed down the fleet a little bit. Yeah. No,
Yes.
I mean my fleet's just got bigger because it's an ever evolving thing. I've just picked up. I can show you, can't I? If I screen share.
Oh, you might be able to.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about? Oh, so have you still got? Bryn had a Noggy. Bought a Noggy.
Yeah, hang on then. Right, give me. Yeah, you carry on telling them about my Noggy.
Yeah, so he bought a Noggy, which is known to me actually. I've known the car for some 4 or 5 years. Went to Scotland with it. Done quite a few road trips. One of my friends done quite a bit of work to it, which is cool. It's nice to see it still about.
Yeah.
Because Noggies are limited. Colours wise, Audi exclusive, there's obviously loads of colours. But some of the odd ones, like Nogaro Blue, Papaya, Tourmaline, there's some weird names of different colours that.
Yeah, you sent me a link for one of them today, didn't you? That.
I did. I'm always sitting on eBay looking at weird coloured cars.
Is that car not at the Motorist? Did it not go to the Motorist earlier this year as well? I thought it did that one.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it did.
I was supposed to buy it at the Motorist meet, but I had COVID.
And then you didn't come.
I had COVID.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, hang on. So here's proof that I did own the Noggy. Let's go. So
Bryn's far too technical for this kind of stuff.
No, I'm really not.
Making me look bad. All you see is all of us looking at our second screens. It's like, let's just.
Oh no! Wait, hang on. I need to.
Yeah, looks lovely.
Look, there's proof that I had a Noggy.
So what's going on in this picture here?
That is, I ran out of amps.
Oh, alternator.
Yeah.
If only you knew a mechanic who had
I know,
parts
yeah.
with him.
So that was a bit of a long story, but I was supposed to be driving it home because I was going to have to look after the kids for a few days. So I was like, oh, perfect. I can do the things I need to do at home. And then the missus was supposed to be picking me up, driving me back to get the van, etc. But instead, she ended up having to pick me up from halfway home to go and get the van so that I could then go and take an alternator off a different car and get myself, and then leave the car there and then have to get it collected the next day. Yeah, it was not good. Anyway, so that's that one.
Life of a TT owner, isn't it? That.
Yeah, and then just while
you're sorting your disco out in the background there.
Let's just find the new.
We got one question here from David whilst you're plugging that. So what's the difference between a BAM and an Apx engine? There is a couple of things.
Go on, Dom.
One of them is that it has an SAI. So it has a secondary air pump. It has no VVT. Are they pre-BAM as well?
Yeah.
Do they make an Apx past? Well, they stopped making the Apx, then made the BAM, didn't they?
Technically, there was a crossover. So there was definitely at least a year of Apx and BAM at the same time. But that was more that they were just using up old stock.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Apx they're very similar, apart from the BAM has variable valve timing, which means you have that small solenoid on the right-hand side of the engine, which usually leaks from the gasket. And I spent nearly half a day trying to get the gasket out and back in again. Whilst on
I remember that phone call, yeah.
And it has an SAI pump, which most people delete anyway, because if you saw the video of my silver cheap crap box, they were duct taped on, but they weren't actually on. They were just duct taped and swinging around in the engine bay. So,
Dom, just summarise that. So you said it's got VVT and hasn't got the SAI. What are the other differences?
Do you know what? That's all I know about the Apx, because I've literally just bought one. I've never dealt with it.
No, so essentially, the block's the same, pistons and rods are the same. Obviously, the head's stamped up differently because it's got the VVT. And so essentially, the engine is the same, but it's the bits that get bolted to it that are different. So the turbo has also got an EGT in there. It runs a different lambda sensor. Yeah, the BAM. So the BAM runs an EGT probe in the turbo. So it runs a KF4023 instead of an 022. And there's a wideband lambda so that it can, do open loop. Close it. So the management side of things is different to go with the BAM. So you've just got a little bit more protection in terms of when they're being tuned. It can because on the Apx it just guesses what the exhaust gas temperatures are. If everything's running fine, it just models it. But on the BAM, it actually measures it. So yeah, that's your major differences there. So you're going back to what am I getting up to?
I think me and Andy just want to point out the fact that you're. If everyone looks at Bryn right now, his T-shirt just reads fat.
Yeah,
because you lose the bottom of the E.
It's not lying though, is it? I'll tell you what, hang on. My chair's a bit knackered, so it keeps over the course of this. What you'll see is I'll be this high, and it will just slowly.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe that T-shirt's telling you something, Bryn. If that's the case.
All right, calm down. Definitely is. But no, here's the new one that I've just bought. So, boom. There you go.
Oh, another Mauritius?
No, it's denim.
Denim.
It's a very late denim.
Ooh, is it dashed in blue everywhere?
No. So anyway, right, that's that. So, I'm actually doing a video on it, as you can tell. Yeah. As you can tell. How long is this video so far? 17 minutes. Yeah, people are going to be well bored on it. Oh, even longer than that. But I am doing a full video about it, so I don't want to spoil it too much if you want to know about that.
Yeah, no, I was going to say won't talk too much.
But I can reveal that the reason I bought that is for my major plan, which is happening in right? Let me just stop saying fat. My major plan, which is happening in a month's time, I'm going to be heading over to the Nürburgring.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So I bought that car literally because,
For that.
yeah, I wanted one that I didn't care about.
Makes sense.
So I've got no attachment to that vehicle whatsoever. So if someone rear ends me, I don't care.
Just
Now,
leave
the
it
other
on.
question is, what spares are you going to take with you?
Ooh, I mean, that's actually a good question, Dom. That is a good question. It's a useful thing to discuss. The
spare wheel is definitely. Well, you got a spare wheel anyway, because it's 225, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's only a space saver.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I have got a spare set of OEM 9-spokes, so I could just chuck one of those in the boot, and then leave it at wherever we're staying, so I'm not carting it round. Although that kind of defeats the object, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no,
if you get some accommodation, you can literally just dash it somewhere. And
yeah, but I mean, yeah, if I got a flat, my mate could drive me back there. He's going in a 1.4 TDI Lupo. Yeah. So that's going to be like 3-wheeling it the whole way around.
And he's going to be getting like 60 miles to the gallon the whole
time.
Yeah.
Especially because he can actually run it on, he's been running it on like cooking oil. Yeah, chip oil. It's just, cheap as chips, literally. Stinks. Like when it's at full chat, it does stink. But no, so spares wise, I'll definitely be taking a few coil packs, a little basic toolkit. That'll probably be it, in all honesty. I might take a spare turbo to charge pipe elbow and some Jubilees for that, because they cook. They absolutely cook. Yeah. That'll be it. I might. I was thinking I might chuck in a set of standard pads just in the boot, just in case I absolutely kill the pads while I'm there, and I can just. Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, coil pack, 100%.
Yeah.
Do the plugs and then just have a spare coil pack or two, because they are notorious. But I mean, you're going to give it a little bit of a thrashing round England prior anyway. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What sort of things have you done to it, Bryn, so far, like to get it ready to go? Like, have you done other belts and stuff? No, you're just going to go send it.
Oh no, actually, technically, so I bought it off someone that I did a lot of work for on the car previously.
Right.
So unfortunately enough, I'm fortunate enough that I've already done the belt. I've already done the clutch, although I did manage to get that to stink yesterday. So it might need redoing. But yeah, cam belt's been done, clutch has been done, turbo's been done, exhaust been done, front mount intercooler. So
proper job.
Yeah, it don't sound like a bad one, really. Then
nah, especially not what I paid for it. So yeah, I just need to change the rear diff on it. Just a minor little job.
So Chris, if Dom's beaten the Nürburgring in the last few months, Bryn's going to Nürburgring in the next few months, I think that needs to be a little trip out to Nürburgring at some point, so we can go post the time, and then we'll have one of those.
Hang on, no, kind of a no. You're not supposed to be competitive.
Yes, you are. Come on now.
Let's just all head over there and do laps around. That'd be a laugh, wouldn't it?
What about if we actually take our cars and pay someone else to drive them, a professional? Does that count? I wonder.
I think it's only €49 to get Misha to take it round. So
there you go.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
It's either that or all four of us chip in and we'll just take one round. If we crash it, we'll just get out and run, leave it there.
Yeah. Or maybe we could all take one, get him to take
care about it.
Yeah, get him to take each of our cars round and get him out and get him to give us a verdict.
I'll be too like I won't be able to concentrate on the car itself. I'll be too bothered about what else is going on.
You're getting crashed into by a supercar.
Yeah. Honestly, my current YouTube history is just like Nürburgring crashes. How to remember where all the corners are. Crashes.
The thing is, if you've never been there, literally, you can play it on any games, any Gran Turismo, anything like that, Forza or whatever. You'll never ever feel what the road feels like, because you'll be going along and then suddenly it just drops down in the camber. I mean, that carousel, you're literally like 45 degrees, just. You sort of drive around as well, and if you film it, I've done it on the GoPro, and I'm watching it going, I'm going slow, but in the car, you literally feel like,
wheels. Yeah,
It's like, yeah, just like I'm nailing it.
Well, it's got to be a trip for next year, hasn't it?
yeah. I think.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, 100%.
wicked. Dom, when are you? If you want to plan something?
Yeah, so the plan is for next year, obviously with the calendar, providing the calendar does well, is I'm going to propose some dates. I'm going to, hopefully everyone's up for the dates, and then we're going to do the Nürburgring, North Coast 500, and a couple of other little, maybe like 2 days or a dayer. And I'm going to plan where we're staying, in what town every night, what kind of events we're going to do and all that kind of stuff. And then if anyone wants to join us, all they have to do is book their own accommodation, because then I'm not liable for any money related stuff.
Oh yeah, and if people
Just
happen to
literally
meet
the
up in the
itinerary.
same place, then it's just a nice coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, plus it's obviously if someone decides to book and then cancel, I don't want to be liable for them trying to sort it out. You know what I mean?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
So if you do it
Fair
through, I do it all
problem,
through
isn't it?
booking.com. You do it through booking.com, you can cancel it for free up till maybe 3 or 4 weeks before you go.
Yeah.
The Ring is one of the cheapest trips I've ever done. Fuel obviously is a bit more expensive now, but when we went, 35 quid a night. Food was 10, 15 quid a night. The laps obviously are expensive, the fuel's expensive. But if you just go and want to spectate, you don't want to drive round or you want to do one sightseeing lap, perfect. There is 1,000,001 things to do. There's go-karting, there's tobogganing. Tobogganing, £3.
Yes.
It
The
sounds like a
scariest
plan, mate.
30 seconds of your life.
That does sound like a... Dom, have you you remember I texted you about something a while back for next autumn? A big road trip. Do you remember what I'm on about?
No. Slide into my messages again now.
Yeah.
Remind me. A lot has gone on since then.
Jules Matthews, you've just messaged me asking me to not forget about your car. Don't worry, I've not forgot about your car. I will come and sort it. There you go. You've had your reply. I can see that you're looking. Right. There you go. Sorry. Right. Hang on, Dom. Let me just...
So we still got people joining in here. Hi, Jamie. Nice to see you, mate. How's the TT? Got it here, James, my wife. Leaving me at 3 TTs. I've got 6 and she's still here. That means you can have 12 now then, mate. She won't leave you when you've got 6 of them.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. You can't drive them all, though, surely.
Oh, I see that.
obscene.
Hi, Jamie. I see you're in the chat. What's going on with your car? Because you had a bit of a project going on with that car, if I remember rightly. Did we ever find out what happened to that? I know he had bits doing to it. Maybe not as much of a project as Joe's got going on right now, because I think we get lots of new parts posted up on Facebook on a daily basis with Joe. He must be.
Has Joe got a 225 now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you
I know I
noticed.
answered that because everyone.
Yeah. You might not have been tagged. I don't know, but
No, I haven't
If you're not on
seen...
Facebook, they may not know who Joe is.
yeah.
Okay.
So Joe is got quite a
Joe in the
habit he
chat?
needs to get rid of, I
Busy?
suppose.
He's busy.
He loves his car. He
I'll
loves
give
his
him
car.
that. He's busy.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done
He's
so
had a
much
bit
to
of
it.
bad luck with that inlet manifold, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Right, we need to place bets as to what we think it actually is.
Oh yeah, because you
What,
don't
the,
think it is what
the
it
air
is,
leak?
isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's a bad mating phase, personally.
Should we do context then? So Joe bought a polished inlet manifold for a 225.
Hang on, is Joe in
they
the
fit-
chat? Can Joe defend himself or discuss this with us?
Well, no, it's
Oh,
not that he's going to
he don't
defend
need to
himself.
defend
we'll just
himself.
Not
discuss
defend,
no.
I mean
Yeah,
just
we'll just discuss it, yeah.
weigh in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can he weigh in?
So he's bought this polished inlet manifold. He's bought a polished rocker cover. They've gone and swapped it over. They bought new gaskets, which is the right thing to do. They fitted it, and then when they started it, the car ran like a sack of crap. Like it was misfiring.
Is that the technical
nothing
term?
logged. Yeah, sack of, we all know that. You know, when you start and you just go,
Oh, yeah, quick turn off.
Yeah.
even when you're not
Especially if you
prepared
do like
for it,
multiple parts at the same time, you're like, oh fuck, what bit was
I-
it? Was it that
yeah.
bit? Was it that bit?
You got it, Chris. That's the exact reason that I don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Go on, then, what do you
suspect-
reckon it is then?
well, they suspect that it's a warped face, but then I saw something
On
about
the
Joe's.
manifold, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
saw something about Joe's got a friend that can X-ray it, 'cause I think there might be a fracture in it.
Yeah, I'll see that.
Which,
Yeah, but then surely it'd be visible.
well, this is the thing. If it's
Well-
big enough to cause an issue, it'd be big enough to be visible. Because we all know that a tiny little vacuum leak doesn't
Won't
cause.
make it run crap.
Yeah, it won't make it run that bad.
Not on idle. Not on
No,
idle, anyway.
No, that's it. My money, putting my money on the table, is on throttle body alignment. Just wasn't done because they didn't have VAGCOM
Properly.
available to do a full.
Yeah, because did they
reset.
put back the original throttle body as well?
Yeah.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, moved the original throttle and manifold back over. So I think if they'd moved the throttle body over to the new manifold, they'd have been all right.
Did it look like they'd coated the engine with something like some sort of dust, like do some sort of air leak test or something? It looked like something blue was on the engine at some point, like a smoke test of some sort. I don't know.
I didn't see that.
Oh, I don't know. I must admit that is a good way of testing for an air leak if you know what you're doing, is to spray something around, and then if it makes a
Well,
tone
it looked
change,
like
you
it
know
was
where it's
coated in
been
like
done.
blue powder paint that had been poured under the bonnet. It looked like.
Just looking for where it's puffing out from.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, not sure that is the technical term for it, but I think that's what it looked like.
Yeah, Wayne, you've got a brake judder under braking only airing system. Wait, under braking only. Brake judder under braking only. I mean, it could be anything. New pads and discs. Why would you have a judder?
Could have a split pipe. Oh, judder. Could be a dodgy sensor.
Only air in system.
Under braking only, comma, airing system.
Yeah, airing system, yeah.
I think that's what he's getting at.
Yeah, right.
Air in the system wouldn't cause a judder under braking.
If the brakes weren't bedded in properly, it might.
Yeah, if they're a coated pad, a coated disc, in fact, a coated pad like EBC stuff, they've usually got.
Jump on the dual carriageway.
Yeah.
Do some. Go up to a decent speed and then bring your speed rapidly down to a not so decent speed and repeat the process a couple of times. If you read, is it the DS 2500s or is it the? I can't remember what the pads were, but they basically say, do 120 to 60 like 4 times or something, and it's like I'm just gonna. You get pulled over.
Break the law.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I've got the box here. Look.
I had an interesting experience with that in Wales. Bedding some pads in. It was. We sort of calculated where do we need to go and how fast can we go and where can we get these braking points in, because obviously you've got to do it in phases of like 50% brake pedal from 50 to 30, not too heavy, and then progressing it to slowly build the heat up through the pads. But yeah, my goodness, once they were done, they were,
like you were left foot braking, yeah?
Oh, mate, it was nuts. Oh.
So if you've got a set of brake pads and discs that are wearing together, let's say, and then you've maybe decided to change the pads, but maybe the discs have warped in some way, so they've got an even wear. If you put a new set of pads on that and they've worn a bit oddly, could that be giving you some of that judder? Or I thought that might be something.
No, so I wouldn't suspect judder would be.
That's more of a you'll get a squeal and weird noises.
You'll get maybe a bit of a weird pedal feel, but if you think about it, the as the disc's rotating, it's not worn differently at different points around the disc. It's just worn on the profile. You'll see maybe it's dug in a little bit further, so you've not got flat against flat. But so all that needs to happen is it just needs to wear into the ridges. But I wouldn't think that would cause that.
Or what if someone had changed the disc and then lined the disc up properly on the hub and it's all a bit?
Oh, then it'd be all over the place because the wheel sandwiches it. So
yeah.
You'd feel
put the pads in the wrong way round.
I mean, maybe was it on a V6 or a 225 Wayne's? That's a V6.
He says it's new discs and pads as well, doesn't he? So
yeah. Did you put the clips back on the calipers?
I had an interesting thing in Wales. Could have taken that conversation into a whole different direction. when in Wales.
Well,
Well, nothing wrong with Wales, boys. Nothing wrong with Wales.
I mean, there's not much right with Wales, but no, I love Wales.
Every time we've been there, I've nearly took out multiple sheep because you'll be driving along and we're on the old intercom.
Tom, that could be taken differently as well. You've nearly taken out multiple sheep.
Let myself in for that one, and we got the old CB radios, and it's like sheep in the road. You come around a blind bend, and there's just a whole wall of sheep. It's like,
have any of
you as well?
Have any of you guys done the Evo Triangle?
No.
The what?
I have not.
Evo Triangle in Wales. It's like it was called the Evo Triangle. I think it was where they used to do tests, like road testing for Evos and stuff. But it's like a nice little route. It's all cameraed up now, so apparently it's
is it Brecons or?
It's that way. Yeah,
I've done most of that area. It's good, but the problem with that is, so Scotland you can do any time. Wales, you need to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning in the summer on a Saturday or a Sunday, because the roads, as soon as it comes 9, 10 o'clock, waste of time.
Yeah.
Unless you know some back roads and you know them, you know what I mean? Same as the Dales. You go up to the Dales or anything like that, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I took my red convertible there in fact, 2.5 years ago, just celebrate my engagement at the time. So banging roads up that way. Banging roads. But yeah, if you get stuck behind 10 cars, you can't enjoy them.
Jamie's heard of it, but his mate he wants to go there with his Subaru.
I mean, I've seen footage of my old boss flying around the Evo Triangle, like all over the back of a Noble in his T63. It was scary stuff, but looked really good roads.
Yeah, so I've just done a quick Google of it.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's about 20 miles to the west of Wrexham, and obviously being from that part of the world, I should know it anyway.
It's not Brecon then, no.
No, so it's up more towards Snowdonia, I think.
Yeah.
But it's but yeah, I even being Welsh myself, even I'm not going to try and pronounce some of these road names.
You see a sign and you're just like,
no way.
Go for it, Andy.
No. Pentifolas, boy. Get it in. Yeah.
Hey, I believe you. I believe you.
I can say Clinbran. That's the top one. Mine's called Clinbran. So there you go. That's about as good as my Welsh gets nowadays. I can sing the anthem, and that's about it.
Go on then.
You can't put him on the spot like that.
No, I'm not doing that because I'll offend too many of my fellow Welshmen if I do it and sing it wrong. I'm not doing that. I'll go and get my Wrexham shirt on.
Yeah, go for it. I was up near Wrexham the other day, actually.
Were you? Servicing cars, I hope.
Yes. Yeah.
How many miles do you do a month average?
Yeah.
It does vary, but I mean, a year is probably 40 to 50,000 miles a year.
Wow, that is a lot of
anywhere
miles.
from 500 to 1,000 miles a week. It's not uncommon.
Where's the furthest place you've been, Bren, to go and fix a car?
Minnesota.
Oh yeah, you did that one. Yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah. That is quite.
No,
I meant like driving, like in this
driving.
country.
So I've driven up to just north of Glasgow,
right?
And I've been down to like in Cornwall. So
both ends, basically.
Yeah, literally.
The problem with the Cornwall ones is that's like 5 hours each, 6 hours each way, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. It's not fun.
Do you charge them like mileage on top of the job, or just price the job and the sort of getting there?
So I'll price the job and I'll tell them how much of it is the transport costs. Right. Yeah, separately, because then they've got the choice of them to come up to me. Yeah.
I would personally try and drive to Minnesota rather than drive around the M25. To be honest, I think it'd be easier to drive to Minnesota than that.
I tell you what, the only good thing about COVID and lockdown was that the M25 was clear. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
It's like a good year of just being able to look on the sat nav. It says it's 2 hours, and you get there in 2 hours. It was perfect. And then as soon as it started to lift, you could just see the track. And then as soon as Heathrow opened up again, it was like, okay, gridlock.
It is one of the worst roads. I'm trying to look at routes for next weekend, just so I don't have to go around the M25. I might go through London early.
Where are you going next weekend?
Oh, you missed Andy's back-in photo. We're going to do a London to Brighton style.
Oh, yes.
Quadrophenia,
What day are you going?
Saturday.
Which is the 17th, is it?
10th.
Oh, the 10th.
Yes,
this
mate.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Let me consult the calendar.
There you go. Some dates there. Look at that.
Yeah. So the way that my camera's set up is my camera is covering the route. So let's just peer past her. Yeah, that looks like a good day, though, to be fair. But no, I think I'm working.
You got already stuff booked in. Well, we've got another couple of people jumping into the chat saying they want to book in. What's the best way for everyone to get hold of you, Bryn?
Email. And I say it not to be awkward. Like, if you send me a messenger message, fine, and we chat there, fine. But if then I say, right, email me so we can book it in, that's because it's easy when I'm trying to I don't know. Yeah, trying to
I
organise
get
my
it.
life. If everything
Yeah.
that I need to do is in one place, it's so much easier. Yeah.
It's the same because when someone messaged me, asked me a question, was it on Facebook? Was it on my personal one? Was it on
Yeah.
Parrot? Was it on my Instagram? Which
Or if
Instagram?
someone, someone else, it'd be on a Facebook post. Oh, how much for you to do this? And I message it. Yeah, okay, book me in. I'm like, I'm not going to do that on this Facebook thread that I'm never going to find again.
Yeah, Facebook is the worst for that. You see something on Facebook, it's never to be seen again. When you got to search for it, it's like, oh.
The thing is, I took out a new phone number, expecting that people could just call me to ask me questions about a booking. Yeah, that was the purpose of the phone number. And now it's just I get a text message with no name, no location, just a vague thing, and I'm like, what do I do with that? You know. So yeah, take the hint, people.
TT.
If you're not getting booked in, it might be because you're not given enough detail, or I've just got to get back to you. But yeah, how much to fix my car? Yeah, I don't know. Jamie, you do live quite local.
What is the email address? I'll put it in the chat.
bookings@bwstt.co.uk.
I should know that because I send it to most people all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
There we go. Gosh, on the screen.
Boom. How many people are in this live at the minute? I haven't looked. What's going on?
37.
37
at the moment. Yeah, we've had
Come on,
200
guys.
views.
So everyone that's in it needs to share it. We need to get this. These are rookie numbers, 37. These are rookie numbers. Let's get this up to 100 easy. Get shared.
Does anyone know if 2 piston calipers from an Audi S1 with 334 discs fit a Mk1 TT bolt-on?
No.
Probably not.
No.
The bolt pattern would be completely different.
For a start, For a start, different hub, different depth. You'd need to...
Similar size discs to a Leon
V6,
caliper.
334s.
Oh, no, I'm thinking 323s. One about V6. Yeah, sorry.
334s, V6, yeah.
So many cars.
These questions are turning this into a game of the chase. It's like a question comes in and Bryn's like, yep, nope.
Sorry.
No, it's not. It's good. No, it's good.
Just get his bat out.
It's good, yeah.
Come on.
Well, I don't know which one of us is Bradley Walsh. I reckon.
Dom.
Who laughs the most? Probably me, yeah. I can't take nothing seriously. Some of the names he has to read out, though, I tell you. What was the
Fanny Schmeller. Love it.
I wouldn't mind doing that road trip that him and his son did, though. That looked like a right crap.
Yeah.
Dom, did you see
the Winnebago?
Wayne, why are you emailing me right now?
I saw your message. He's on it, mate. He's on it.
Did they get to the States and go and do loads of crazy stuff all around the States in a Winnebago? Did
I'm
they
on
not
it,
do
Wayne,
that?
don't worry.
Pretty sure
they did one where they slid down I can't remember what they called it. It was like where water runs down a rock and it erodes the rock. It was like a slide into a massive reservoir thing. That looked proper decent. And the guy was like, only like 1 in 50 people get hurt doing this. It's like, yeah, great.
Oh, that's all right. Good average.
That's good odds, yeah. I'll take them odds.
Oh, serious questions now. Who owns the fastest TT of all 4 of you?
Not me.
Chris, what you
might
got?
be quicker. We're up for debate.
I reckon my Mark II will probably do your Mark 1s.
We're not talking about Mark IIs because they're rubbish.
Nah, it's definitely Mark 1 only.
Wait, he just said TT. He didn't say TT Mark 1s or 2s.
Well, none of us have a 2, so other than you. So
yeah, me, Andy, and Dom have got taste. Although Dom did own.
I do have a Mark 1 as well.
Dom did own the worst Fiat ever. I'm so glad you sold that because it just.
I have a 5-cylinder. It was nice. It just wasn't. Yeah.
So,
I went to work and opened the bonnet, and I just went.
Chris, I reckon your Mark 1's pretty quick because it's got 260.
Yeah, so
I'm 275.
Yeah. So you might be.
I mean,
3 years ago.
Well, you're 300, Bryn, did you say?
No, I mean mine's it's Revo Stage 2, but
mine is Revo Stage 2 as well,
which is an awful map.
Yeah, shit.
So mine will be the quickest because I'll be. I need to book in with Badger 5 before I go to the ring because with the mods that's on there, it's 280, 290 capable if I switch the injectors. So I might as well eke out all the power from it.
Yeah, I reckon it's with Dom's Noggy then, I reckon.
Yeah, Dom's nog is probably
It's
the
down on
quickest.
power with the leak at the moment.
Oh, there you go. I tell you what, though, Dom. Just going back to your Fiat. Not that I
Yeah.
want to dwell on it for much longer, but you were saying, the noise of the 5-cylinder, right? But it just seems like a bit of a contradiction because you've got this really good noise, but then you don't want people looking at you when they hear that noise because you don't want them to see you in that car. So it's a bit of a,
if they're not old enough, they'll be like, "What is that?" Because at the front it looks a bit nice.
Is that a new Maserati?
But what on earth is that? Yeah, it's like...
No, it's as it drives past and you just see the square arches.
It's just been slashed, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
gosh.
I mean, while it's moving, you can't tell how bad the wheels are, at least.
I think it's a good talking point, Carl. That's the thing, isn't it? People don't know what it is. You can take it somewhere and you can tell them whatever story you want to invent. So they ask you, "Oh, what is that car?" Well,
you take the Fiat badge off it could be a Ferrari.
Exactly right.
Got backed into something.
Yeah. Say Pininfarina had a field day with this one.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to decide that Dom's Noggy is probably the quickest at the minute.
It's on par. It'd be interesting, actually. It's a shame we haven't got a big budget. We could have rented an airfield like they do in Officially Gassed and all the car.
Yeah, that would be funny.
So
we'll do that next year. I'm already chatting to people trying to get something.
I've looked at options for that myself as well. So Dom, that other thing that we were talking about, I think that's the way to make that happen. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think so.
Big exciting things are on the horizon.
Yes. We do a lot of stuff in the background.
That trip in the next year. Yes. I'm going to fire off a couple of emails. This will be cryptic for everyone else. So I'm going to fire off a couple of emails about now, because it'll be about a year from now. So it gives us time to sort it. But I think
there's loads in the pipeline.
So I described that trip to my mate and he was like, "Yeah, that's really sad." I was like, "Not if you're into TTs. Like, that'd be really cool."
It is definitely a select few that follow us, everyone, all of us four, that would definitely appreciate
that would go, "Wow, that's cool." Yeah. That could be mega.
Got a good question from Stephen here. Sorry, just to cut you off, Ben.
Yeah, no, good.
What's the best mod to do for under £100? Let's say on a turbo car.
On a Mk1 TT.
It's not that easy. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go last. Everyone answer.
Yeah, everyone pick something. I would go with Tip. If you could buy a second-hand Tip, they're good.
I would say the best mod to do is no mod at all, because I like a standard car.
Chris?
Dom, I'm just going to refute your Tip.
I'll have it.
Right. Issue with doing that is you shouldn't really be changing the Tip and nothing else and then not mapping it in, because it's going to drive a little bit weird with no other supporting mods and no mapping to take them into consideration. So, I don't know.
I see your Tip and raise you a...
What's the best mod to do for under £100?
Depends how good you are on eBay. If you're pretty good on eBay, then you could get quite a bit for £100.
I mean, does he mean performance mod or any other mod? If it's just any other mod, I'd say throw some wheel spacers on.
Well, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Good set of spacers. But to be fair, set of 40mm lowering springs you can be had for £100.
Yeah. I sold some for £70 the other day.
I think even on the cheap ones from Euro Car Parts are usually 100, 110, something like that.
Yeah, I think Apexes are only £80.
What a bargain.
Or Apx, whoever.
Yeah, they all come off the same production line. Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. A cup holder. Ben.
Do you know what, Ben? You're not far wrong with that, though. Oh, guys, I'm such a rubbish person with technology. I keep forgetting to scroll the chat, and it's not auto scrolling. I'm like, where are you reading all this?
How many dollars are you into your Noggy, approximately? I think last time I filmed it was nearly 10 grand.
What?
And then I'm
what?
Yeah, but if you think if you factor into everything I've bought, if I was to buy it new, I think it was about 7.5, maybe more now.
Mate, that's strong money.
But I mean, the shift tower is 600 quid, just that alone.
Yeah.
Wait, is the missus watching?
No, she's downstairs. Fine. Do you want to watch it?
It's all 20 quid.
Yeah.
In the next 6 months, I'll probably try and double that figure.
That's mental.
So I sold the other cars.
So who here do you think's owned the most cars in general?
I think I've had about 40, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between me and Bryn.
I was going to say, I reckon Dom's
Andy's
had
had
more
a few.
cars. Well, just because I'm old, I mean I've owned loads of cars.
I mean, I was just
Cheeky bastard.
just extrapolating. You know, if you're into cars, you'll always have different cars. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've had a few, but I'm more of a Ford man in the past. So these Audis are my first Audis.
Fix or repair daily.
Yeah, well, mine never were like that. Mine were all right, and I'm still a Ford owner now, quite proudly. Me and mine up in Mondeo.
What else you got? Oh, Mondeo. Hey, good cars. I'm not going to knock a Mondeo. You know, I think that isn't the Mondeo one of the only cars that all three Top Gear presenters agreed and all liked. It was a Mondeo and a Subaru Forester or something.
Yeah. When you do as much travelling about as me and hobbies as I've got, you need lots of space in your car, and it has got a cavernous boot for taking stuff: bikes, snowboards, kids, dogs, cats, tents, small countries. You get it all in the back of that.
So, Dom, how many cars do you reckon you've owned?
I stopped counting at 100, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Ooh. Okay.
No, most of them are
500 or 600. Did you say?
No, 100. I stopped counting at 100.
I thought you said 500 or 600. Jesus.
I think he's owned 100 since he owned a TT.
I was going to say you've had about 6 this week.
I think I've definitely had. I don't know. I'm not north of 100, but I've definitely had more than 40 TTs for one reason or another.
How many of them have been sold on to be used again?
Maybe half.
Good question.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe half.
Because I guess you've been in it a while, so that some of them would have come to the point, where they were that cheap, even with a few bits wrong, that you can make your money taking bits off, reuse parts for other cars that you wanted to keep on the road.
Yeah, that's the way that we phrase it to people.
To do a U-turn.
That's the way that we phrase it to people that get offended by us breaking them to make profit.
No, it's true. The thing is, though, if you're breaking them, taking the bits off and selling them, other people are buying them bits to use them. I know not always.
Often I'm keeping them on the shelf ready for whenever they're needed.
They're just keeping other TTs on the road, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm an absolute fan of scrap the ones that need scrapping, to keep the ones that need keeping on the road, and let's build up the value of the TT. Because there's too many knackers out there that people go, oh yeah, I can buy one for 700 quid. Yeah, but they're just not worth buying.
Like, what about that one? What was that one you sent me a picture of? You did one that had been off the road for a few years, didn't you? And you were trying to recommission it. It was a silver one. It was rough.
I have to be careful.
There's. I mean, the thing is, Bryn obviously works on loads of cars. He's probably the best to report back on these. I mean, there's still plenty of rough ones out there. I mean, Danny, I don't know if Danny's still in the chat, but Danny bought I think it was denim the other day, and within a space of a week, the ECU locked itself out and put the immobilizer on so we couldn't start it. And that was a week old, and it's like,
oh, nice.
That's helpful. I mean, it's his third TT, so he should know better. but it is still an absolute nightmare, because he was like, it's not starting. So it could be the throttle body needs resetting, whatever. Obviously, we are guessing. When people ask us things, we give our answer best on the way you've described it. If you've described it not 100%, then you may not get the right answer. And it is, if you're not in front of the car, it is like literally just, let me just pick it off a tree or try this one. You know what I mean? Because it's an estimated guess, but.
Hang on, I've got the solution for that. There, the missus got me a present, right? And this is so that I can fix TTs remotely. Okay.
I'm intrigued now. I could do one of these.
Can you see it? Is it?
Thinking cap.
Thinking cap. Yeah, it's thinking cap.
I got your thinking cap.
You see it a bit better.
Quality.
Yeah. Stranger Things. You got to love a bit of Stranger Things. That's Justin's cap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quality, isn't it?
Yeah. So, okay, let me pose a question. Everyone's first car.
Ooh. I
Ooh,
can tell you,
go
I
on,
can tell you the
Andy.
registration of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Not
too.
yours.
Well, I was going to say, how do you know that? So mine was an A-Reg Mark III Sunburst Red 1.3 Escort.
Ooh.
And I have got some serious modifications I did to the bodywork on that on the outside end. It had an aftermarket body kit, but I didn't lower it. So it looked like it was going around on stilts.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice. I don't think any of us can top that, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I'll have to try. I'll try
I've
and
got
put a
some really
picture up.
questionable mods on my first one.
Go on then, Chris. What was yours?
It's got to be the Vauxhall Nova, isn't it? Vauxhall
yes,
with a
lad.
set of 17s on it.
Yes,
Lovely
lad.
jubbly.
Cruising in
17.
SRI Nova.
Wow.
I warned you, is a sound system banger. Yeah,
You know
gotta
that.
love a Nova.
6.9s on the back shelf. Love it.
Yes.
Yes,
What about you boys?
Jigsaw them bad boys in.
I had a 1.8 diesel Peugeot 205 in Dog Knob Red.
That's
Nice.
a hell of
Yeah.
a first car.
Yeah.
It was in terms of arch gap, it had at least a Coke can.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's yeah. So it was like,
Oh no, but that's both ends. Like it was
Oh.
awful. Like it was awful. But it didn't use any fuel. It just ran
non-turbo.
on. Yeah. 1.8
Oh,
non-turbo.
Non-turbo,
Yeah, just,
that must have been.
oh,
I tell you what, if you wanted to go
Avoid
for a
everyone,
spirited drive, you had to wind it up and just never touch the brakes. It was just, yeah. And then I think the only mods I did to that was a stereo and some 6x9s on the back. And I remember because I had my dad in the car and he was like, "Oh, you know, are you sure you've done that right?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And we came to like a bit of a sharp stop down a hill. And then there was just the smell of burning. And I was like, ripped the stereo out. I was like,
No.
so we just cut them and joined them all together.
I can't remember. It wasn't a good install. Oh,
Here you go,
yes.
Oh yes, Andy.
Yes, Andy.
Ah.
Was that yours? Your
Yeah, that
one?
is me.
Yeah.
That is me driving that car. That is me.
Oh
Get
yeah.
Look at that body
Pepper
kit,
pot.
boys.
Bad
What? Yeah, I was
boy.
going to say, they pepper pot wheels, are they?
They are, yeah. So I
Yeah.
just changed them. Look at the arch gap.
No, that's not bad.
Nothing.
No. I
about
don't
the
think
back?
that's too bad.
The back's
the
quite
back.
high.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
must have been
Oh,
helium in
well.
the boot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 fog lights. Oh yeah.
Right.
Proper nasty.
Rally.
Oh, Jamie caught there with the 200 brake Renault 5 GT Turbo Raider. Absolutely, mate. What a quality car. I had a hatred
How is that a first
5
car?
GT Turbo, but it weren't my
Must have
first car.
lied of his insurance company.
Yeah.
There's no way they let you have that.
It's a 1 litre Campus. It's not a GT.
That actually casually brings us nicely onto my first car. I had a 1.4 Campus Prima,
Oh, mate.
which I put a rear turbo bumper on because I couldn't afford the front one, and because my friend worked at Halfords, we bought all the eyelids and all the Richbrook. You know the Richbrook. You literally walked in and was like, "I want to spend £100 on Richbrook stuff," please. And you buy the gear knob, the this holder, all of that crap. And then we one of my friends said, "Oh, my dad said you can tint your rear lights." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's do that." Pulled out a set of his mum's tights, and I was like,
Nice.
Yeah.
That is what people used to do, though, isn't it?
Imagine
Pair
getting
of
a ladder
tights
in
went
and
over the
washing it,
airbox
mate.
as well
Oh.
sometimes. Fuck the air filter. Pair of tights in the airbox. Pair of tights over the rear lights.
You know,
There's Chris with his grinder lowering it.
Yeah. Wait, we used to do that. We used to chop the springs. We're like
Concrete box in the
17,
boot.
18.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Alex with the AXGT. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, mate, that's cool, man. That's a cool
That's
car.
a cool car. So I'm going to show you the first car. No, it wasn't the first car that I crashed, actually. It's the first car I had a proper crash in. Because the first crash that I had was just... I know, well, it was a pretty good one as well, actually. But this one was... how do I do this? Boom. There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, 306.
Yeah, and
306,
do you know
and
what?
them.
on a
Is that
day
a
that
diesel
goes.
turbo one?
That was a D turbo 3-door in white with the extra side skirts with the cyclones. No, didn't have the cyclones on at that point. I had an SM8 in with an air filter in it as my cold air feed. I tuned the heck out of that.
Front bumper
Winds
delete.
on there. Yeah, rolled that along.
Front radiator delete.
Yeah, so there was no ABS on
Front
that,
end delete.
which
Was
was
its
the
demise,
downfall
yeah.
of it. But
Yeah.
the airbags didn't go off. I put that into a wall, rolled along the wall and up and down that curb. Took out at least 60 foot of wall. The airbag didn't go off.
That's French for you, isn't it?
Yeah. So
You got to be worried at that point, innit?
Mate,
Yeah.
say, Brent, that's quite funny, right? Because I had a 306 GTI 6 in gold, and I wrote it off crashing into the cemetery wall.
Nice.
Going over those little stupid roundabouts, little hump roundabouts in the ice, just went straight on it, slipped straight into the wall, bang, done.
I love a 306, and I'm still actually trying to find one. I want to
cool.
find.
I had
They're
a-
more expensive
I had a
now,
couple
don't
of
they?
D turbos.
Well, the
And then
Irish
a
lads have got
HDR.
all the D turbos over it. You know, they've shipped them all over. I sold a couple of mine that I had back then, and literally came over on the ferry and drove them back. You know,
Really?
so they're all
Can't
in
buy
Ireland.
cars. I mean, my friend used to run them on central heated cleaning
Oh.
fluid and veg oil and anything he can find.
Run
was
on
oily.
anything, yeah.
Straight in there, mate. Yeah, old
Good
oil.
old XUD90E was a strong engine. It was a good engine, and genuinely,
Only some questionable past.
I nearly bought one the other day, but someone else had dibs before me. But if I can find a 3-door petrol, just to make it easier, I am going to 180 one. So that's the plan.
You just fancy it.
Yeah, 180 and a 306. That'd be awesome.
So what about
Imagine
your
it cost-
first hot hatch, guys? What about your first hot hatch? Do you have a hot hatch?
Oh.
Who had a hot hatch?
Technically, no.
100 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had a red top Nova.
Yes.
Oh,
Decent.
That was
that's a
good
bit
fun.
special.
I got videos of me going up Santa Pod. Well, I say videos, more like grainy potato footage of me going up Santa Pod line. But that used to talk to you. But any gear you want, as soon as you accelerated, straight off the road, like
That's what the
It
VXR
was
was
awful.
like.
I mean, the first car that I had with a little bit of power was an E36 328 coupe. It's not really a hot
my
hatch,
boy.
but it was, it's a good little car.
I had a definitive hot hatch actually. So there's my first one. Little
Oh,
1.6.
so jealous.
I pulled
Look
chicks
at that.
1.6. No,
1.6.
1.6. Only
Oh.
1.6.
Good
Hey, I
enough.
pulled chicks in my 1.6. What can I say? You know, I didn't because I was with my wife at the time, but that was the saying.
Yeah.
Look at that young skinny boy in that seat. Look at him.
Look at him.
Who is it? Who's driving that car?
I don't know. It looks like I think it's half of me.
The problem is now you take all these pictures, don't you? And then later on down the life, you try and find them. Like I've got
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
somewhere, I guess, in the loft, little 4x6s somewhere. Like
I'm terrible at taking pictures. I just don't.
Scan them in when you can.
yeah, I need to now.
Nah, they're all up
I
here.
stopped taking pictures of stuff a while back. Yeah, you're trying to
Mine are
explain
all
it
in
to
the
someone.
memory.
It's
Yeah.
like you have to
Yeah.
go. But the thing is now, even on Google, I used to have a Nova with a this, that, and the other, like the body kit or like a Raider turbo. You try and find them, but you can't even find a picture on Google. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm that old.
Yeah.
So I've-
Sometimes I go onto old forums that I used to be like members of, and like go in there and
Still
style
members
myself.
of it.
Yeah.
Club 306.
Yeah, so I was VXR online, M3 cutters, Punto GT groups, fucking all sorts of shit.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, mate.
I tended to just go out with my mates in their fast cars when I was like, college, everything like that. I stuck with the sensible diesel 306s. But my mate Terry, red top Novas, turbo red top Novas, so C20 Punto turbos, KA turbo,
The worst car in existence.
red top Seicento.
Oh,
It was good times.
They're
So he had those, so I didn't need to do that sort of stuff. Just live vicariously
just
through him.
passaged and feared for your life.
Yeah. Oh, and you did properly.
Oh, that's a good question. What do you prefer to work on, the 180, the 225, or the 32?
Chris.
I've only got a 225. Say that one.
No,
I
I
know
tell
we're
you
going to rule
what,
the 3-2 out because the
I've
access
just
is
it depends what you got to
You
do.
finding a love for him?
It depends what you got to do from. So obviously, because there's only like 1,600 registered when they came out, there's not that many to work on. Like I've done more cam belts than there is DSG TTs, DSG 3.2s. So yeah, that gives you an idea of the ratio of how many I get to work on. But I've done a lot of work on 3.2s over the last couple of weeks. It just has all come together. And actually, yeah, I don't know. There are certain jobs on them that are just nicer to do. But that said, if I'm whipping the gearbox off, 225, a 180 is the one to take a gearbox off.
Yeah,
Even
180
easier.
front wheel drive.
Yeah, 150 done. Lift it off. Just thank you. Yeah,
One hand.
yeah.
Yeah, because me and you lifted a DSG gearbox and we both nearly had kittens. They're not light.
Far from it.
Horrible things.
Yeah, and they're just really awkward. And you've got to take the transfer box off, so it's just a pain in the ass. Dom, what's the story with the new? Come on, Dom, tell us the story with the new silver TT.
I bought a silver TT. There you go. I have a top secret project for it. I've already started taking some of the bits off, but
That
it will all be
discussion.
revealed.
Are we doing what? Or are you just going to do? What we talked
That's
about.
getting-
You're just going to do it.
Yeah, that's getting done. It's just in what scenario. I might get you
Okay.
to come down and we'll all do it together.
All right.
But we're
I
going
wanna
to.
be
It's
involved.
interesting, isn't it?
I want to be involved with that project.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Everyone's going to enjoy it.
Yeah. That's going to be one of your best videos, I reckon.
I can't really say much else because it's going to be hilarious. But it's definitely worth buying specifically just to do that and nothing else.
Yeah. Well,
I've also got a video planned for after we've done that video as well, which makes it even better, which is quite fun.
You're so
For
cryptic,
good use
Dom.
of it.
Why are you giving everyone these weird cryptic
I know.
things?
I don't want to give it away because I'll just say it and then it'll ruin the whole video and everyone will be like, when they see it, they're just going to be like, what?
You did what? Yeah.
I think people are going to love it.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
I think so.
100%.
I'll probably everyone's at home right now going, "Oh, I've got this to look forward to, which I don't know anything about. I've got this to look forward to, which I don't know anything about, and I've also got this to look forward to, which I also don't know anything
Well, Dom,
The
about."
problem is, I think.
When are we going to announce the other thing that we talked about?
I think we need to sit down and trash through that soon
Before we
need
say
to do
anything.
some stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is, if we told everyone what we were doing,
Yeah,
then they would
exactly
look
right.
at Sunday's video and go, nah.
Exactly. It's always got to be a surprise.
Okay, we'll keep
Right,
it
let's
a
move
surprise.
on then before I tease anyone else. Wayne's actually got a good one. Would you buy new or used parts? Now, I'll weigh in quickly. I would happily buy used, genuine parts over new pattern any day. Sensors, anything. Because the amount of crap on there. N75 valves off Amazon.
So I don't know what it is about VAG in general, but they just don't like aftermarket sensors for anything. And a 3.2 in for chains. And before I stripped everything down, I was getting no readings on either of the sensors. Did the chains, put it back together. I was only getting a read on one of the sensors. And I'm like, either I've seriously messed up or, there's something wrong with the sensor. So I assumed that I'd seriously messed up, stripped everything down, realized that I hadn't seriously messed up. So basically did half the job again. And then noticed that the sensor wasn't genuine. Lo and behold, stick a genuine sensor on there.
Bish bash
problem.
bosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many.
Hall sensor,
I'm guessing all of you guys have had where someone's either bought a dodgy N75 valve or bought a MAF. MAFs and N75s are the two most common messages I get.
Crap maths everywhere.
I've got
cam position sensors.
I've got you what?
Cam position sensors. Oh, it was coming up with a. That's usually. I tell you what. In fairness, that's usually the cam position sensor is doing its job, and they keep replacing it, hoping that it will fix the fact that they've got an actual timing issue that it's telling them about. Anyway. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Ben's saying, if you're light on the 3.2s, I'll bring mine for chains one day. Sure, you'll love that.
Yeah,
Ben's actually all about the chains now. Yeah.
It's a job that I've avoided for ages just because of space constraints. But now that I've got a bit more room in the unit, and I'm actually thinking about putting a second ramp in, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, now I've got space to have that and be able to do the stuff around it. Happy to do that. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Yeah.
I'll
James
not charge you
Peel
too much
second
money.
the cam position sensor.
Yeah.
How many times have you tried changing it, James?
I tell you what is that N75s didn't for years. N75s weren't a problem, right? N75s people thought were a problem, and so they would then change them and still have the problem. But now there's so many bad N75s out there that it is a genuine thing. When people are going, I've got this boost issue, you go, check the N75. But you're not saying check it because the valve might be faulty. You're saying check it because they might have just put some weird revision off eBay on it. Because, so there's so many out there.
George's case fitted it the wrong way round.
In whose case?
Remember that? George, the one that was on the floor, the aviator one at Badgers that first time we went to Badger 5s. Yeah. So they'd actually fitted the N75 valve the wrong way round.
Takes some doing.
And that's how they'd owned it, the whole time, and they've had like multiple people look at it. But the thing is, if you're not working with this 1.8 turbo all the time, as long as it's got 3 pipes in it, you're probably not going to question it, because why would you? You know what I mean? They might look at a MAF and make sure the MAF's the right way around, but arguably they're not going to touch boost sensors because you think, well, no one would have messed with that.
So I'm presuming that's the one where you both went, oh, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. We just span it around and went for a drive, and they were like, wow.
Well, there's the power. Yeah.
Is that what it's meant to feel like?
Yeah. But that's exactly right. If you've got, I see that. No, go on.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's part of what you were saying, is that obviously Bryn's working on these all day long. So if someone rolled up with that problem, it'd probably spot it straight away. But for those people that haven't got a second car even to compare it to even look for that, you would be thinking, like you say, it's all set up, ready to go. There can't be a problem with it.
I'm just going to duck out for a second. Okay. Can you mute me, Dom?
Yeah, there's a Oh, one sec. There's a few times where I've jumped in and out of people's on people's Facebooks because they popped up, shown a picture, and then they've had you're like your puck's the wrong way around, or you know what I mean, the diverter valves go in the wrong direction, just where they bought it in and inherited all these problems that they didn't know they had, and then suddenly they've got running issues or whatever. Because obviously, it's like when you buy a car, if you've never driven one before or for many years, you drive it and it might feel all right. My Noggy, I bought it was in limp mode, felt all right. I'd never really driven one. I just assumed it was a bit slow.
That's the thing. I say you were about to talk about Sean's question about the Mark II TDI, weren't you? Yeah. So, so for those who haven't seen the question in chat, so Sean has asked, should he sell his Mark II TDI Roadster that returns 50 plus miles per gallon for a Mark 1 V6 DSG? And he wants to know our answers. Well, I can't really comment on the Mark II because I don't own one. Chris will better give you more of a background on that. But I would say of the two cars that I own, as much as I love my Mark 1 Roadster, the driving pleasure that the 3.2 gives me knocks the socks off it. It really does. It's a totally different driving experience. Now, if you said to me I can only keep a soft top or a hard top, that would be a hard one because I like them both. Yeah,
it depends what you have the Mark. I mean, if you have the Mark II because he does a lot of miles, then it just makes sense with the comfort and everything. I mean, no one's going to argue with you. Reliability is probably better. You're going to return better miles to the gallon. If you've got the luxury to have 6 TTs, I certainly wouldn't worry about selling the most economical one. No. That's for sure.
So to put it into software technology terms, it's your all-important requirements gathering is what you need to do, Sean. So you need to work out what your requirements are there. So what it must, use the Moscow principle, what it must do, what it should do, what it could do, and what it should do in the future. So if a must for you is fuel economy, it's got to be the Mark II. If a must for you is something like miles per mile, you put your foot down, then the 3.2 wins. So it's all about evaluating what you want out of that car. So if miles per gallon is the important thing, stay away from the 3.2 because you're not going to get it. I can second that.
Bryn's back in the room.
Yeah.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, the thing is, it's sort of like, if that's his daily and he does do a lot of miles, then keep the Mark II TDI. But I know Sean's got a few Mark 1s anyway, so...
You got 6. You just said you got 6 earlier. Sell some of them, buy a V6.
Maybe exactly. That's what I was thinking, Dom.
Even Bryn's got a reliable car.
Yeah, I got two. I think. Oh, the van's not reliable. No, just in case people are wondering. 6 minutes past 9 on a Sunday evening. That's me taking a work call. Okay, so although not really a work call, I suppose. Yeah, it was Jermaine. He's just had a
Did they
blowout.
know you to book in?
No, Jermaine's just had a blowout.
Oh, you're joking?
But I had to answer because I've just obviously done his gearbox, and I was like, oh no, I hope it's not something wrong with what we've just done.
What gearbox is he running?
Doing a
standard.
Okay, so how many people are watching this? 42 people live. And how many people are going to watch this back, do you reckon, Dom?
A couple thousand, probably.
Okay. So Jermaine has just got rid of a monster gearbox. Built gearbox because
because but when he was at Badger 5, didn't he? He had a proper gear set and it was whiny and
issue after issue. They're good while they work, but he's had issues. It's really noisy, so we just put a standard box back on for now, and he is going to change probably to DSG. So yeah, but I mean, if you're thinking of getting a monster gearbox built, maybe just look into it a little bit and see reports of what people are saying, because there is no easy answer for a manual box for 600 horsepower.
Yeah, and I guess there's not that many people that have tested it. That's the problem.
No, this is true. Although we say that there is plenty, but they tend to be the sort of people like Pro Race Engineering. They've got lots of customers that have got really big power builds that are just drag racing them, and they're not the sort of people that are on these forums sharing that information with people. It's like not on Facebook forums and stuff like that. They're more in the old school forums, and even then they're keeping stuff to themselves because they're competitive.
Of course, it's for sure. Yeah. They're not going for pod figures.
So were we seriously just discussing whether you would get rid of a Mark II TDI Roadster for a Mark 1 V6 DSG?
I mean, I'm always on the fence about why you would have a diesel convertible anyway.
I know,
because that defeats the object of having the roof down smelling eggs.
And hearing chugga 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 chugga. Yeah.
I mean, I've always said the V6 convertible is probably the best option because you can have the roof down to listen to it better. I mean, Ben will agree with me if Ben's still here.
I agree.
Because that's it. Yeah, noisy V6. That is the best option. I mean, the Roadster's nice. Andy knows.
The only problem is the Roadster DSG is the heaviest car ever. It's ridiculous. I want to get mine on a weighbridge. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
Sean,
with the added extra weights,
you need me to move in for a month and fix the other three. Nah, it won't take a month. Don't be daft.
You don't know what's wrong with them yet.
Even still, I could build a Mark 1 TT from the ground up in a week. Come on, done.
Ben said, hell yes. Yeah, it's all about the V6 convertible. I think if I was only ever going to have one TT, that would probably be the one. Whether I'd have manual or DSG, I don't know.
That's actually a serious consideration for me at the moment. Is I am thinking about what to do with my collection, and the one car that I want to keep is the Papaya V6 Roadster.
Solid colour as well.
Yeah. The Papaya is kind of 50% of the reason why that's the one I want to keep, to be fair.
The pumpkin. So. The pumpkin car, yeah.
Yes. Car wizard. What an idiot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness. That was, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah. What else we got going in there?
Order the catch cam from Billy. Yeah, that's standard. What's the Mark III TT like? I've had no experience of the Mark III. None. Not even been in one.
I nearly test drove one and then couldn't get the dealership to get the right one in for me because I was going to do that whole comparison video of the Mark 1 versus the Mark III and the evolution and what they'd be like. Completely different cars. But when they were getting twitchy about me, can I take the car and for the weekend and just put it through its paces? They'd be, no, it needs to come back. I said, okay. So I don't know yet.
The technology is horrendous. It's amazing. But...
Yeah. For me, the Mark III is the only other Mark that I would consider having. Because it's the Mark II, the styling's just shocking.
Bland.
And anyone that owns one has no taste
What
in
are you
cars
talking
whatsoever.
about?
Fighting
What are you
talk.
talking
Fighting
about?
talk.
What are you talking about?
What you talking about? Right, just look at the front. Just look at the headlights.
Yeah, what's wrong with the headlamps?
What's right with them?
They
The
work.
lines are just. It's just, it's awful
Yeah,
shape.
But at least my chair
It's hard. I
works.
mean, it's hard to follow on from a Mark 1 anyway, isn't it? Let's be fair, but
Yeah, the Mark II, no. There's certain angles from behind where I kind of get on board with it, like a TTRS from, but no. Mark III, it's got enough differences that it's its own car.
yeah, it's just the price I can't get on with.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
I'd love a
big, isn't it?
TTS with about 35 grand, 35 grand, like for a nice one, newish one,
Mm.
virtual cockpit and all that fancy stuff.
It's nice,
But
isn't it?
if we turn the clock back to when our cars were new, they were demanding strong money then. So it's probably relative if with inflation. If you look at the price of a Mark III
100%.
now,
100%.
Yeah.
it's still relative.
I mean, they're not
but
bad value for money for a sports car.
Can you imagine though a Mark III ever being able to be bought for 500 quid?
Well,
or with inflation, 1,500 quid?
Yeah. Ask me in 25 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I've had 20 of them.
I don't think they'll last that long. I think they'll be plagued with too many electronic issues by that point.
Yeah, you're probably
But you
right.
can get a
That would
Mark
be
III
prohibitively
TTS for about
expensive.
20 grand.
Yeah. Well, the TTS is the one to have because it's quicker than
Yeah.
the Mark II TTRS. Go figure. Less power,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
quicker. Well, 0 to 60 is quicker. Anyway.
Plus, it's less likely to get stolen off your driveway. That's the other problem with newer cars. One of my friends, he's got a C43 and he had it where he had it. It got stolen last week. And they didn't even break into his house. They just scanned his key.
Yeah.
What can you do? I know you can obviously put it in a Faraday and all that kind of stuff, but they could scan it off you at work or anything.
There's still ways anyway, because in fact, I'm not going to discuss it. But yeah, the fact that cars
it's easier than it should be. Yeah.
The fact that cars can communicate out for safety purposes means that people can communicate in.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That is the
That
problem.
is the problem.
An EV conversion. So this is an interesting topic because obviously electric vehicles. I mean, I think we all agree electric vehicles are not the future. However, they're part of the future.
I'm going to duck out for a second, but keep chatting. I'll just mute myself.
So for me, I have actually started to look into doing an EV conversion on the TT. Now, there is a guy doing it over in the States, and it's a very sort of DIY in your garage kind of affair. He's to the point where the batteries that he got sent, he used the packaging from that as his battery case for the car. So
wow.
Yeah, that but it it's definitely doable because there'll be a way of my plan if I'm going to do it, which I mean I need a little bit of time and a little bit of money to see if it's possible, but would be to keep the standard gearbox because you can get these motors and then you run adapters so that you can just run them on a stock gearbox, and so you'll still get the driving experience. A driving experience anyway. It will still be quattro, and it will mean that people that because I mean the way that they're making the congestion zones in London and Birmingham and Manchester and everything else, it's going to be people that don't want to pay £20 a day to drive their car. So I think there will be a little bit of a market for it. I mean, people are already converting like classic Minis and Beetles and things like that. They're electrifying those. There's already off-the-shelf kits for stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's something I've seriously considered and looked into.
I guess there's got to be an appetite for it to make it like mass produced because that's the thing with old Beetles and old Minis. They're not known for like blowing your doors off for the driving experience of whereas the TT, the reason people are buying the TT is to give you that sort of cheap access really into
I think the right size electric motor onto a TT gearbox is going to give you better performance than the 225 would ever give you anyway for 20 miles, and then you go and recharge it.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are you going to put all these batteries?
Well, no. So genuinely, the way that I'm looking at it is you would do it where the fuel tank is. They would take up part of that space and the rear seat space. Keep it. Yeah, in the middle of the car.
I think the only way that you're ever going to make electrical sustainable long term is you're going to have to shrink down the storage of power. So your batteries are going to have to somehow eventually come down because otherwise, I mean, what's your range like now on the top EVs? About 350, I think, at your top end range
in the summer with the wind behind you.
Yeah, exactly. So
with no phone
30
on
miles an
charge
hour.
or
Yeah.
I think it was Quentin Wilson did a journey to the south of France. So there's a video about it somewhere where he took a Tesla to see if it was possible to drive to the south of France, and he did. He was stopping every 180 miles and having a 15-minute charge in one of the fast charges for the Teslas. And obviously the Teslas charge it double the rate they charge it, I think, on the fast charge.
Something stupid.
But that's only available Tesla, and there's lots of other EVs out there that you literally don't get that double fast charge. So you need faster charging and smaller power storage.
Someone who's got an electric car said to me that they're fine unless you like spontaneous drives. Like if you're like, I'm just going to drive to, I bought some wheels, I'm going to go pick them up 300 miles away, or we're going to go here, we're going to go there, because you can't just knock a plan up. If you've got a Tesla, it's all right because you can just press your where do we stop for power kind of scenario.
Yeah, but you got to hope that there's not 20 people waiting and queuing in front of you.
And the chargers are not faulty because a lot of them you go to, it's like, out of order. Or something or it started charging, then there's a fault. It's like, for fuck's sake. Go to the next one.
I think we've all seen that picture of all the Tesla chargers underwater.
Yeah.
It's just,
Well, I suppose really I should give it a go, being the name of Andy Charger, shouldn't I? I should come up with some new
new fancy charging system. Yeah. No, I think if they can get it to the point where it's a 70% charge in 5 minutes, then fine. That's viable. But waiting half an hour to get an extra, 150 miles range or whatever, it just doesn't. Yeah,
because you can just run in and just get like 5 minutes of fueling up your TT, and you've done another 150 mile, or you know what I mean, before you can carry on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to know what the future is going to hold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andy looked like he was about to jump in some water.
He did, didn't he? So held his nose off. He went.
He just went. Oh, gone. It's hard to know.
He's back.
Quick dip.
Don't know what he was doing in that quick time there.
He's gone quiet.
Andy, your mic's off.
Sorry, guys, it is indeed. I'm muting myself to have a little go at my inhaler because I was getting a bit wheezy with all this talk of big money. So I was
big money.
Maybe all a bit.
He just turned off and went to the missus. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing it. Ignore what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Are people talking about trading cars in this chat? Have we set up a swap shop? Or have I missed it?
No, Noel Edmonds has turned up. You're all too young to know that.
Fuel is the way forward.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think they've pulled the funding on internal combustion development 5 years too early. If they just let the manufacturers carry on, there's some real advancements with petrol engines to make them green, to make them more economical. They've just they've killed all advancement of that. It's
it'll do a big circle.
Maybe
it will do a big circle. What someone just said, TDI Swapper Mark 1. There is 3 out there.
There's quite a few out there. Yeah.
I tried to buy one, but someone bought it before I got there. Otherwise, I'd have had one as well.
Yeah, I'm tempted to do one because I was tempted to do one and then kit the back out so that I could use it as a van
with limited tooling.
Well, I've worked. Well, this is the thing. Just using the boot, I've been able to do most jobs I've needed to do if I've had to use the TT. So if I had the back seat,
it's just that what if in it, like that the few tools that you carry for just in case purposes, or the spare parts, or or whatever.
But it would be
which
cool.
We all know there's a what if here and there,
Oh yeah, but it would be really cool. EVs never work. The batteries are useless after 5 to 7 years and cost 10,000 each to replace. Yeah, I mean, I think they cost a little bit more than that as well, Jamie, to be honest with you.
Batteries, so on a Tesla, they quote 300,000 miles, and then it's 17 grand for a refit.
300,000 miles? No,
I'm sorry.
Friends. That ain't happening.
That's what they said?
Oh, but yes, on this day, you were driving and the temperature was -3 degrees, so that knocked off 10,000 miles. You did that 20 times, so that knocks off 200,000 miles. Yeah, I can't see that happening.
I mean, have you seen the build quality on them? The build quality on the Teslas is horrific. One of our friends has got one. He's like, you can just flick every little trim, and it's like rattly and hanging off, and all sorts of stuff.
They look
The problem
cool.
is they were rushed out to market. Yeah, I mean, have you ever been in one that's launched? They launch well, but that's its party trick done.
Yeah,
it's like
it's it done. Yeah. I watched a video of the Plaid launching. They're rapid. They're just.
Yeah, I went out in a Polestar. That was good fun. 440 horsepower equivalent. But it just once you've got that, once you're going, it's just like you're just okay. Yeah, so that's cool.
But because there's no gear changes, you're constantly pinned. Yeah. You're constantly pinned until it runs out of until it runs out of go to
100 odd.
Well, I say my only experience so far on an electric car was being a passenger in that Citroen Ami in Rouen in April time, and that was the most amazing thing I've been in. It's about the size of a Coke can, and the launch on it was amazing, but it was dead silent. And obviously I've spoken about it.
Is that the one you can spin on the circle?
Yeah, so you can literally unbolt it in 4 places. You lift the body off, spin the body around 180, put it back on, and bolt it up, and it goes the same. It's identical.
What?
Yeah. Check it out. It's called
What's
a Citroen Ami, spelled AMI. Google it. Little grey thing. Pop up. You'll see it.
You can sit in the driver's seat and open the passenger door.
Yeah. So the one door opens.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the one door opens normally like a normal door would open. The other one opens back to front. It's crazy.
So both sets of wheels can steer fully.
No, the front wheel. So you lift the chassis off. And you can drive it without. Imagine if they had no body on it. So lift the body off.
Oh yeah.
And you just literally spin it round, put it back down. So if your body work was naff on the front, you wanted to give the back end a go, you could. It's crazy. But honestly, and it's so because it's a little set of tiny wheels, it's dead silent, and you feel like you're driving on the floor.
But if you forget which way you parked it, you'd be confused trying to climb in it.
Yeah. Oh, the steering wheel's at the back of the car now. You turn yeah, literally. So the only difference is obviously the lights on the one end are like white, and the lights on the end are red. So that's the way you can tell.
Do you know what? That car is spelt the same way that one of my ex-girlfriend's name was spelt, and she was just as backwards as that car. So,
well. My daughter went for a drive in that car. We were there, and her name is Cammy, so she was Cammy in an Ami. So there you go. Literally,
genius.
We got a question here for Bryn. Hello,
okay.
owned my 225 for 17 years, 93,000 miles, just lost boost, and boost gauge does not show plus or minus. So did a smoke test. Cold side showed leaks, but hot side was leak free. What does it say? I'm still too topped on it. Any views? So that he's obviously on about checking it for faults.
Yeah.
Does not show any PSI. It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if you've popped the hose off that your boost gauge connects into. Because to get zero reading from wherever your boost gauge is plumbed in, that's where I'd be looking. But obviously, if you've blown a intercooler hose off, for example, and you're just completely open to atmosphere, you should still at least be getting idle showing vacuum.
Yeah.
So there's something going on.
Drives all right, yeah. Look around your inlet pipe work. Depends where you've TP'd it off to.
But other than that T7, I'm afraid I've really not got enough to go on. Cold side shows some leaks. I mean, fix the leaks that you found on the cold side.
Yeah, that's a start.
Yeah,
if you know it's got a leak there.
But the other thing is, let's not forget that your turbo could just be completely fried. But then you still expect to see negative pressure on your boost gauge.
You still
have vacuum
at
idle.
still pull vacuum, yeah.
You know, the car won't run if it's not putting vacuum at idle.
The joys of a TTA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dom, I like this thing where you're putting questions on the live stream. I like that.
Yeah,
you'll have
Andy
to tell me how you do that. Andy, you'll have to teach me.
Well, everything's got its price, boys. Everything's got its price.
I'll swap you 50 subscribers.
No, that's not enough, Bryn.
Yeah,
how about a free service? Free service, maybe. There you go.
Do you know how you get subscribers?
I wouldn't know. You put out a really short video and on changing the dog bone bolt.
Yeah, that's literally all you need to do. That's all you need to do. It's ridiculous. Do you want the figures on that one?
Well, I did say they were quite high, but it only
let's see
made
what
me
they are
jealous.
now.
It's got to be
It's when
nearly
you
on
get
3 now, isn't it?
5 minutes later, oh, it's gone up 500,000. 5 minutes later.
It's ridiculous. Where's sort by? Oh, why am I
Green
not on?
internet sensation.
No, but this is the stupid thing. It's just, it really is stupid. Like, how do I find my dashboard? Where's my dashboard?
T7 said drive's okay. Yeah, just done. He's done the leaks, mate. I would check where your boost gauge is plumbed to, because you've obviously lost the feed to your boost gauge. You could have popped off the back of your boost gauge. You could have split the pipe, anything. Unless your boost gauge is given up, there's always that option.
Right, so for a stupid throwaway video that I was literally doing out of frustration because people were genuinely asking this question, and people think I've done it as like who would ever be that silly to ask that question kind of thing. 3.7 million views.
Yeah, that's good going.
Yeah, and where does it tell me it tells me on my phone, like 5,300 subscribers gained.
That's ridiculous.
That's the recipe for building your channel.
So if you boys want to triple your input on subscribers, make a
just
silly video
literally make a short of
about.
rip my video and re-upload it, title it the same thing, and just add subscribers.
It's not just about numbers, boys. Come on. It's
about
giving quality content to people.
It's about quality content.
I know, but are those people going to come back and watch all the other videos, though?
No, I get a lot of unsubscribes on each subsequent video where they realise that. No, the
you're not caning everything you do.
The subscribers that I lose are the people that are going, click here for sexy time videos. So you have to
I get loads of those.
channel.
And I've tried. There's no sexy time.
That is just a scam.
What? I thought it was a real girl.
It's just a scam.
I've had my life destroyed.
Jamie's just asked if anyone's doing a caffeine and machine meet. That's a question for Bryn. Sorry, not for me, just for Bryn.
Yeah.
But for me,
I'm actually planning on going to Caffeine and Machine. I think towards the end of the month with a few of my friends. If anyone else wants to tag,
Dom, let me know. Yeah, because it's local to me. Well, it's local to my unit.
I think we're on about going on the 24th.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just going to have a look now. I'll put it in the calendar if anyone wants to tag.
So, Stephen, with your window, my driver's window goes halfway up and then back down if you're trying to do it up in one go. So I have to put the window up in stages, start, stop, start, stop. So you need to do the reset, and I've got a video for that. So just go onto my channel and look for window reset, and that'll tell you how to do it.
It also cures if your windows don't drop when you open your door as well sometimes.
Yeah. It can
if your windows aren't set.
But if that doesn't fix it, then you've probably got a dodgy CCM.
Yeah. Right, we got a question here from everyone other than Bryn now. What's everyone's mechanical background? Is everyone trained or just picked up the skills along the way?
Absolutely zero. Only from fiddling and having a go at home, as you can probably tell. But, there's a lot of people like me out there, so we don't all have the expertise you boys have got. So hence why I try and keep my stuff very simple so we can help everybody out.
Yeah, your stuff's really useful because you're pitching it to people of your similar skill level, and so you're showing them the things that you consider needing to be shown. Like there's often things that I overlook because I just think, well, everyone knows how to do that, but actually maybe they don't. And
absolutely right. And I think there's people that come up to us at meets as well, and they say, oh, I watched your video on XYZ and it really helped me because I was wondering how to do that. And I think that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I didn't know not everyone can strip an engine down at the weekend or whatever, but I'd say at the same time. Yeah. But then I'd like to say, come and try and score a slap shot from the red line, see how you get on. Probably won't be able to do that either. But that's the thing. It's helping out the guys that want to give it a go, because that's the thing is it's all new to me, and I just want to do as much as I can. Because a good example being the first video I did was on that inner CV boot, because I looked online and there just wasn't something there. There was a CV boot, but not for an Audi TT. Wasn't one for an inner CV boot. And I just learned by, as I've said to the guys before, you start doing the job, and then you find, oh, I need this part, and then I have to go to the shop for 3 or 4 days, or wait for something to arrive, and then so that whole CV dupe probably took about 3.5 months to do. Really, well, it didn't, because it was quicker than that, but because you're waiting for parts. So if someone knows all those bits up in advance and the pitfalls and the headaches, it's
I do like the way that you do it. You go, here's everything you need. If you haven't got this stuff, don't start. You know, that's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Chris, what about your background?
Ha. Right, so when I was 16, I'd done an apprenticeship. I used to work for Vauxhall. So I'd done that, and then I left that because there was no money in it, and I wanted more money. So then I went off and done an apprenticeship in CNC machining and done lots of engineering stuff with a company called Federal Mobile Camshafts. And basically, I've always still kept that interest with cars and always maintained my own cars and done what I need to do in them myself because I enjoy doing it. And I've had quite a few cars which I've done stuff to, and that's why I started with YouTube, because I'm always doing things with cars. I like modifying cars and things like that. So I thought, why not just film what I'm doing, and people can see, oh, I've done it. Because it's like anything. When you go on YouTube, you type in a topic of something you want to do, and you never do like the first video you see, the second video. You always watch a few videos just to get an overall view of what everyone's sort of doing in a similar sort of way. And then I think you just follow those sort of steps. But yeah, that's my background, and I'm actually a surveyor now. So yeah, I've been doing surveying for 16 years.
You made the right choice, though, didn't you? Let's face it, Chris.
I went for the money.
Where the money is, yeah.
Oh, mate, when I was, let's say, when was that? That's probably about 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, I done my apprenticeship at Vauxhall. I was on £2.25 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's slave labour.
So that is why goodbye.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Obviously, it's a lot better now, but I mean, I've been out of the game for so long now. Everything does move on, but
even still, no. I was in Mr. Ty the other day, and it was something like, "Are you 16, 17, just left college? Do you want a career in the motor trade? How do you fancy earning £95 a week?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
What?
I think I was earning about 350 quid a month.
I think I earned that today.
That's the thing. It's like now it's like a lot more now than back then.
And that's just off those 5,500 new subscribers you got.
It is, mate. Yeah. Do you know what though? Real talk. I think if we were to look at our analytics, my revenue per month would be the lowest out of everyone. I reckon. Not that it's about the money, but yeah, I don't make money.
Bryn's very keen on putting regular videos up.
Consistency is.
How many have you got? How many have you got filmed that you've not put on?
I can give you an answer to that.
I want to know where you get the green hand from.
The pointer.
I love it. Yeah, that was from Dobbie's Garden Centre.
I bet you saw that and went, "I have just the use for this."
Yeah. So I've probably got sat here 6 or 7 filmed.
Have you boys got anything filmed that's not uploaded yet? And you're in the middle of doing one, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple at the moment. So there's quite a few things. I've got a lot of things that are like mid filming, because I've got mid jobs under the way. But obviously there should be the events video going out either tomorrow night or Tuesday. Hopefully tomorrow night, depending on how much I can get done tonight without sleeping.
10.
Yeah, maybe more. There's another folder. But Andy, so the videos that you're halfway through, what sort of things are they? What's holding them up?
Just because, not because of time, I guess, editing time.
Okay.
So I'll start doing a job, and if I start a job, film it, do the job, and then finish it, and then edit it down and get it done, and then move on to the next thing. But as you know, there's different bits going on. I've got other things going on in my life as well. So I'm pulled here, there, and everywhere. So I can't really divulge enough attention to one thing to get it done. So
yeah.
So I've got a video at the moment where I'm rewiring those back lights. I mean, it's quite a simple video and it's done, but I need to make sure it's and that's as we all know, the time, the bits that takes the time is not only, if we did the job it would take us maybe 5-10 minutes, but if you film it and do it at least, and then if you have to re-edit it and retake it and do another take. I mean, I did the introduction this morning to the the events video for this week. Well, I reckon that's about a 45-second segment. It took me about 6.5 minutes worth of doing it because I'd start doing it, and then thankfully, although Stephen, no offense to farmers, the tractor would come down the road and it would be, and I'd be like,
that was literally me yesterday. Literally yesterday, where my unit is on the corner, the farmer had decided that he was going to move loads of logs in his Manitou and drive them past my unit, drop them off, come back past. Honestly, so there's at least 6 or 7 points of outtakes on my current video that I'm doing where I'm like, yeah.
oh, yeah. There must be at least, I'd say, 3 times the amount of outtakes to every bit of footage. So if I want to make an outtake video, I could do like about a 25-hour outtake of me swearing if you want it.
I was literally just about to say we should all commit to maybe for Christmas we all do an outtake video of our funniest moments and things that we've. Because the amount of times I'll talk and then I've realised my mic's not on, or my neighbour just walks up and starts to talk to you when you're quite clearly talking to them. There's no one else about. Like, you can see here, you see this, and they're just like, "Oh, Tom, why is your partner's car not been there for a couple of days?" Like, I don't care, go away.
Jamie's got a good question.
Have any of you owned any 1.8 turbo, not a TT? Oh, I've had a Leon. It wasn't a 225, though. It was a 180, and it was awful.
Yeah, I had a Golf Mark 4 GTI with the AGU. Good little car, that. That's what actually got me into the VAG scene, really. So before that, I was, Peugeots, and I mean, I had a Fiat Punto. I'm not proud of it. I had a Clio. Definitely not proud of it. The Beamer was a good car, and then Golf GTI, and that kind of gave me, like, as I was looking into it, it's like, oh, what are the performance modifications for it? And everything's like, take these bits off a TT, take these bits off a TT, take these bits. So I was like, something about these TTs. And that's what got me into them. Do a video on how to remove the headline in the Mark 1 TT. Can't find anything on YouTube. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow for you, James.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I won't do it tomorrow.
Sean's asked for a shout out for his 10-year-old Tom. Hi, Tom.
Time to go to bed, Tom, I reckon.
Yeah, Tom.
How many times? Yeah, you should be in
10.
bed. What?
Definitely school tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah.
How many times have you boys been asked for a video that is something you A, don't want to do, B, can't do because you've got no reason to take your car half apart to do it? Or it's like, can you show me how to change the gearbox on a front-wheel drive 180? Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do get asked for things, and I think, well, that's not broken on mine. I don't mind if it's something easy to take off and fit back on. I'm quite happy to help someone out because I like investigating how things do go back on for when they do go wrong on my car. But if it's doing a job that doesn't need doing, I tend to wait till it does need doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, but that's the sensible thing to do, Andy. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if we had 100,000 subscribers and it was going to get, 50,000 views straight away, then it'd be worth. Can you strip the gearbox off and show us exactly where that 50p fix that they did on Wheelie Dealers? Show us exactly how that works. Yes, if I'm going to get paid thousands for doing it, because loads of people are going to watch it. But I do get asked some really weird ones.
And it's the time, isn't it? The problem is, like we said, a 10-minute video, 15-minute video will take you 6 hours because it's like an hour or two of filming. Because obviously we don't include all the stuff in between. You don't want to see us actually taking the bit out once you've shown the fixings or whatever. Then it's an hour of editing or whatever, and then.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that people don't want to see the tool going? Because I could have made my dash video like 5 minutes long if I'd not shown any actual work. Instead of the 20 minutes.
Yeah, we wanted to see you one-handedly, like trying to put this thing in, and just this one,
TT restoration taking me 2 years longer than expected due to neighbours and bypass. He's walking past and stroking gun. Bypasses. I mean, you can't blame strangers. on your TT restoration taking 2 years longer. That's just you're procrastinating and taking your time. So I'm sorry, Michael. I'm not falling for that one. That's your own fault.
All my neighbours are like, "Oh, have you painted this one again?" No, it's a different one. Oh, how have you painted that one? It's like,
I love this
you
one.
also cut the roof off. Yeah.
Dante B is asking a question that comes up on the forum quite often in one way or another. What newer cars have you guys thrashed in your Mark 1 TTs? And we've all seen them. Oh, I've just bought my Mark 1 TT and there was this Porsche 911 and I absolutely battered it. Yeah, he wasn't trying.
Yeah.
Or if
we
he
see it all
was,
the
he
time.
really,
Oh,
really
I've just
can't drive,
embarrassed a 535D. No, you haven't. You just haven't. You know.
You might have more bottle going into a roundabout at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. So
If anything, my TT upsets me more than others.
But I mean, I've thrashed plenty of newer cars. I mean, a Citroen C1, I thrash them all the time. You know, they're new.
In your van.
Yeah. But no, so in seriousness, the TT is kind of it's one of those cars. And then people expect, like, if they pull up next to I don't know, a 206 GTI, for example, they might be like, oh, it just looks like a buoyed up Peugeot, it's nothing. And then it's unexpectedly powerful for what it is. You know, it's a little bit nippy, but people expect the TT to be quick. So you don't tend to get that people at the traffic lights trying to race you and stuff, I don't find, in a TT. It's probably
10, 15 years ago, it might have been a different playing field as well, because obviously now you can pull up to someone who's 18 with an A45 and it's just like, right.
Yeah, like people don't, I don't tend to get races in the 225. I get it all the time in other vehicles still. It's weird, but yeah.
Jamie
I
Court said
can't
he's
say
had
I've
one
had
race.
that. I've had no one try and get me to race. Maybe I look too old to race. I don't know. Maybe
I do tell, like, so yesterday when I was driving that new one home, yesterday when I was driving the new one home, there was this, I don't know what it was. It was like a Nissan saloon thing. And he was flashing me. I was in the fast lane and I'd only just completed my overtake maneuver. And he was flashing me right from behind. So I just dropped it. And then at every point where he came up behind me, I would just wait for him to try and start to try and come past me, and then I'd just boot it again. So yeah, I beat a saloon Nissan, whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I guess 15 years ago when they were sort of newish, we was all having, Chris was probably in a VXR or something, or a GSI and things like that. And when you used to pull up at lights, mate, you would literally you'd eyeball whoever was next to you.
Yeah, you give it a little rev.
Give it a little rev, and they'd rev, and you'd be like, right, it's on.
It's on, like,
waiting for an orange light, like shaking because you're so excited about it. Like.
Yeah.
And it's good because the police were normally in like a 1.6 Astra GL, so you'd be sweet as like.
Yeah, there's just no chance.
Or an Amiga.
I remember the funniest one of those I had was because I'd never heard of them, right, at this point. I was in my BMW, my E36 328, all 192 horsepower, whatever it was, and there was this Starlet Turbo.
Starlet GTs, 1.3 4-wheel drive turbo.
I had no idea what it was, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea, right? I'm not into that sort of stuff. But anyway, so we come up to this roundabout, and I was like, "Oh, I'll be a bit careful." He was just gone, and like I pulled up like a few roundabouts later. We pulled over, and there was like an Audi. We were in the car park, and I was just like, "Wow, wicked!" You know, like how it used to be. You talk about, you know, what you done to your car, like what is it, you know, chatting, and
what the fuck have you done?
What is that? And it's just like, and then it was only like 200, 250 horsepower, whatever it was, but it's just such a tiny car with all that power. It was just immense. And the only thing that I could do to try and regain any sort of cool points whatsoever was do a one-wheel peel in the car park.
Oh, yeah. One tyre fire.
Yeah, just like half a donut before I pulled out, you know. Yeah, tragic times.
Oh, I love them. I used to love them days. That was when having cars was fun because there'd always be something you could do at the weekend. You could go down to Halfords or somewhere and just buy something and fit it to your car. Whereas now, obviously, it's not so much a possibility. But you'd buy a car, wouldn't you? Because you could make it faster because it was too much money. So you go down Halfords, buy some 6x9s, get your dad's jigsaw, jigsaw a big
Yeah.
hole in the parcel shelf, fit them,
Yeah.
and then by the time we got to Southend, it's like this because the parcel shelf
Collapsed.
bowed because it
Bit of
can't
tuber
hold
one
it.
underneath the shelf.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
With some moody twisted wiring. Yeah,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tape
Yeah.
together. That's all it needs.
Bit of solder thing, yeah. A bit of sellotape. Oh, it's electrical tape. This one, that'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the proper stuff.
Oh, good
My
time.
My
Right,
mate's
lads,
Uno Turbo's pretty rapid.
Oh, they
Ooh,
sound
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
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 You've seen that one, Dom?
Yeah,
I've done
yeah.
a video. I've done a video. It's as a quality.
Yeah,
He's
I see
had
the
that
video, yeah,
literally. I mean, I've known him since we were probably about 18, and he must have had that car since he was about 20. He used to do Chinese deliveries in it, and he just kept it. He's like fully.
Everything was still hot when it arrived.
Exactly. I mean, this
Yeah.
thing, right? It weighs what they about 850 kilos. I think he says run at 230 brake, which ain't a lot. But I'll tell you, this thing absolutely it goes. It literally launches you back.
They are
Right.
good. Old power is different. So much.
Yeah, exactly.
We need some more questions in the chat, guys. Come on, get involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll have to give it a wrap up soon because it's getting late, isn't it? 2.5 hours online.
Ooh, yeah,
Nearly.
no one's going to watch this back, mate.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would. Definitely the other side of the pond as well, because they're not going to
Yeah.
watch it at 4 a.m. We'll have to
I feel
definitely
it-
do a more
joke.
annual thing. Like we'll have a bit of a Q&A every couple of weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in
Yeah.
the winter. No one does anything in the winter.
I fix cars.
And then if we can get our channels big enough, we can just buy stupid things and mod them and film it. And yeah, why not?
Well, all we need is a
Why
dog
not?
bone bolt video by the sound of things. We all have one of those,
Yeah,
and then
we'll do
we'll
one
all
of
be,
them.
All you
we'll
need.
be holidaying in Mauritius, and I don't mean the blue colour.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's have a last couple of questions then. Last couple of questions here. What's this one? What is the rarest colour TT in each of your
I like Stephen's
opinions?
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knows the
No.
answer, Steve.
Rarest
He knows the answer.
colour TT.
Rarest
Cost
colour.
more.
I need to get the actual
Depends if
code
you
for the one that
It
I'm
depends if
thinking.
you define rarest or least popular, because there's like a
If
few
it's
weird
just-
colours that you naturally wouldn't choose.
There's a
that are
reason they weren't
available.
chosen.
Yeah, like there's, say for instance, Dakar beige, which is brown. Nice colour, but looks dead odd.
What about that Java?
There's
Is
gold.
it Java green or something?
Oh,
Oh,
Java
yeah,
green
it
is
was-
amazing.
Saw that one, didn't we? The motorist had that
But there's-
Java green car.
But there's
Lovely.
like gold.
Mm.
Why would you want gold? There's burgundy. There's so many random.
I'm trying to
colours that
think
just
of the name
don't suit.
of the gold.
Oh, I'm not very good with golds.
Trying
This,
to
I
think
don't
what
know,
it was
Sahara beige is
It's
the newer
technically
one.
a yellow. It was called, but
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's not. It's not light metallic silver. If that's a help, it's definitely not light
Yeah.
metallic silver.
Yeah, it's not shit silver. Sorry, Jules.
Iceland
Yes.
green, is that a real colour? Iceland green.
Yeah, that's that. That's the one that was at the thingy the other day. Cobham. That mint green one in the corner.
Oh, okay.
That Iceland.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
I know there's
looks
glacier
silver,
blue,
with
but
a tinge of the one that was
Glacier's
at Audi's
nice.
in the park, Bryn. Remember? On the corner, it was like silver with a fleck of like a metallic
Yes,
green.
I know.
lacquer.
Yes, I know the one you mean. Yeah, I know the one you mean. That was similar to the one that was listed that had the similar color interior. What color was that?
Oh yeah, that V6. Yeah, that was same
Mm.
color.
Yeah,
Had like a mint green interior. Dead weird.
yeah. I was not a fan.
That's an
of
old
the
lady that
interior.
owns that.
Didn't she message you straight after she bought it?
Yeah. They bought
Right,
it new.
so
Just
someone's
message me
asked.
'cause you wanted to
Someone's
see
asked. Did a TT's prone? So black line. A TT's
Okay.
prone to rust underneath. Absolutely. So in the UK,
Yeah.
especially, yeah, they just are. So the body itself tends to be fine, unless there's been damage to the underseal. But even still, they're pretty good at not rusting on the body side of things. So everything that does rust can be unbolted, refurbished, or replaced and bolted back on. But yes,
Yeah, you see very
even low
few
mileage
actual
cars.
structural rusts.
Yeah, so like even the 7,000 miler that I did a little video on that had been garaged for most of its life, the fact that it had been used on the roads meant that there was rust on the suspension components. So, you know, you just can't avoid it. So like my 54,000 miler, that's got rust, you know, nowhere
Yeah.
that it can't be solved, but absolutely they are prone to rust. But same as most cars in the UK, I'd say.
Yeah.
I can't think of a car that wouldn't rust.
Well, no, not with our salt. Howard's put a good one. He's just picked up a TT Roadster 4 days ago. Keeper's a classic fun car. Seems to be loads getting scrapped at the moment. What are the biggest causes and how we avoid them? A lot of them is just where they've been neglected. People neglect them and they don't do things, and then it gets to a point where they need so many things that the things just add up to a price that's not worth paying.
Yeah.
So just maintenance, mate. You keep on top of the maintenance.
Exactly. I think a lot of I think the price point of them, where you can get them quite cheap, a lot of youngsters are
£1,000
picking them
cars,
up. They buy them, they pay their stupid amount of insurance, and then they've got no money to maintain them.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And then they have a go, don't know what they're doing, fuck them up, and then other people buy them for cheaper or they get scrapped.
That's
it's pretty simple like that, though, isn't it?
Dom, you need to tick the box, the not for kids box on your video now.
I've done that already.
Infrequent.
Potty mouth Chris.
Oh, potty mouth in the corner.
Yeah.
Steve,
like that,
RTT's prone to turning owners into mechanics. I would say for the most part, yes. Because if you don't, you can't afford to have one.
No, exactly.
Or you just have to have a pot and just write on it Bryn's pot.
Yeah. I mean, it's so I was trying to work it out. You know that, for example, that one that I've just bought, that I'd done all the work on. I was like, have I literally just paid him back all the money that he paid me in labour up to this point? Like, probably, you know.
And of course, you have a full accounting service, so you can just look back and see not for not.
That's the joy of being self-employed. I don't need to track those kind of things.
Scribbles on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So Jamie, in answer to your question, how rare is elderberry pearl? The only way you can find out how many there are of them is contact Audi. They may tell you how many they sold, but they probably won't know how many are still on the road.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
there's so many people that
registered numbers
aren't on the forums.
Yeah, but like people go off like how many were registered. Well, some cars weren't actually registered. Some people have literally put these away in collections that are unregistered, and it'd be interesting to see when they appear, if they do.
Yeah,
they just don't get driven.
There's always little cars that pop up, like colours you've never seen. They just pop up, and you're like, "Oh, I've never seen that before. Where's that come from?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been driving around for the last 20 years. You haven't seen it.
Brian, all my TTs are pretty rust-free underneath at the front end, but really rusty at the back end. Why do I say bad at the back end? Well, so the front, so the front, you've got, the under tray helps, but if you think about it, the front, the subframe is in line with where the wheels are flicking up all the dust and the muck and everything like that. So by the time that's flicked up, the front is already past it, but then that's created this turbulent air full of salt and water and everything like that that then hits the rear subframe. So at all times, when it's adverse conditions, the rear is getting battered from both ends, whereas the front is avoiding it. That's the best way that I can reason that happens.
So what of the rare colours, what is your favourite, guys, of the rare colours? What would you say if you had to choose one? What would you have? Other than a papaya?
All day long. Tourmaline.
Which one?
100%. Tourmaline.
Merlin?
No, Tourmaline. I'll find a picture.
Tourmaline.
Hold on.
Okay.
Was that the one that you linked the other day?
Yep. 110%.
Mine would be a flip up between that Merlin and that Java Green, I think. So unusual colours, but I think
Java Green is amazing.
Java is, So, I mean...
This is Tourmaline. I don't know if it'll let me show you without showing my face.
I see that.
It's
a blue
crap,
TT. It's like... Yeah, it's not blue. It's like green.
Yeah, it's hard to see that picture, mate.
I'm trying to get a picture.
I couldn't tell you what colour. Because, like, people are like, oh, yeah, white ones are really nice. I'm sorry, they're not. Like, a white TT is rare for a reason, because white on the Mk1 just doesn't work with the lines. I just don't. It's very rare that they look good, and that's usually because they've got some nice modifications and some colourful wheels to sort of try and help. But like the black grills on the white bumper doesn't work, and then sometimes people spray the grills white to go with the white, and it just, I don't know. I think an off-white would look good.
There you go. Is that better?
Yeah, I just googled it.
That colour?
Yeah, it looks pretty mint. I just found one for sale. Well, it was for sale. It's now sold. I think it's the same cut pictures actually.
Yeah, it's the one that you sent me a link to the other day.
Carter and Haynes. It's at sale. Or was it?
Oh no, that sold for £9,000. That one.
Wow.
Woohoo.
They've done 50,000 miles. Someone actually, I know the person.
Was that a V6? That one though.
No, 225.
The one I'm looking at's 225.
Yeah, they're both 225s.
It's actually for sale in Wrexham. There you go.
Yeah, it's not actually for sale though. If you contact them, they sold it. I don't know why they kept it on there. To be fair.
Yeah, it does. It comes up as sold on the website now.
But yeah, it's there's just so many nice weird colours out there.
I think we can class Noggy as rare, and I think that is my favourite colour of the rare colours. I love a Noggy.
Yeah,
Like
It
did tear me up to sell that Noggy, because honestly, especially parked up next to my papaya, it was amazing. Just looking at the two of them next to each other, it was a really nice contrast. Yeah, I loved it.
It is, but it's got to be clean. Mine's rough as.
Yeah, yours is knackered.
Mine needs painting. It does need painting. There's no arguments about that. Ben's gone for Dolomite, Masano, and Papaya. I have one, Bryn has one, and you have one.
You know what? Dollies are nice, and dollies are rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dolomite is rare.
The best way to explain the Dolomite is a cross between Nimbus and like a
Daytona?
Like a pearly. Yeah, it's like it's not flat, but it's, you know what I mean? Like the Nimbus is basically a flat version of Dolomite, arguably. Like take the metallic out of it, it's got that similar colour.
Yeah.
If someone was just sitting there, weren't they, with a paint code going, yeah, we'll just mix that in. Yeah, change that.
One of them came up for sale recently, you know, the special edition ones, the special orders that they did, you know, like the late run. And I can't remember what colour that was. Because the rarer colours, like the names just fly over my head and I just forget about them completely. But one thing I would say about some rare colours is that they're rare for a reason. And that's that there was only one person stupid enough to pick that colour because it doesn't work.
To be fair, if I ever order a new car, I'm going to order a stupid colour.
And just hope that in 20 years' time that decision pays off.
And there's a resale.
I nearly bought there's a pink one in Rugby, and I drive past it all the time. And there was one for sale on Facebook the other day, well, a couple of months ago actually, but that no one could get a response everyone was contacting and trying to buy it. But I wouldn't mind rocking a pink one for a little bit.
It would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially give it to the missus. She'd love it.
Yeah, here you go, babe.
And there you go. There's an idea, Dom. Then we'll do a how easy is it to wrap a car video. Just wrap it pink.
Yeah. There's a berry. I quite like that berry. You know, the one that's pink but metallic.
Yes. Yeah, it's a cool colour.
That is a cool colour.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm going to drop up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
I think
to
we'll
start
have to call
tomorrow.
it a day, man.
Yeah.
Got work in the morning.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for watching. I mean, really, really good evening. 2.5 hours. I can't fault you. Third time lucky on getting it live.
Yeah, it's all working, mate. It's all working.
Yeah. Well done. Thanks for hosting, Dom. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah. Look after yourself,
Catch you on the
guys.
next one, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Nice one.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.